Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by J. Stinnett Contracting, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, Big Red Overreaction. This week only on News Talk 1290 Coil.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time. Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover.
Double crossover. The crossover continues to evolve.
All right, time for the crossover. Brought to you by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. How you doing? Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you
Nice
very
win
much.
yesterday. How bad was Northwestern State?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. I thought they were potentially going to get shut out in the first half for a moment there.
Dang, that would have been fun.
It would have been fun. I would have liked to see it be 42-0 at halftime.
Did I see this right? The starting five, when they were on the floor together, did not allow a single point. First, second,
that's possible.
I think in Jeff's notes, it said that starting five, when they were on the floor in the first, second, and third, did not allow a single point.
So the plus minus would be pretty good.
Pretty good.
Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, I will
that's
say this.
insane.
You do not. Amy Williams has her team geared up for the opening game. Last year, didn't Omaha score like 20 points?
Yeah.
They like blew them out.
Because remember, that's when we made the bet last year. That's when we came in.
That's right.
I was like, you know what? I actually think they're going to beat some teams.
So
and they did.
Omaha women got beat 105-56, I think,
Who'd
last
they
night.
play?
Illinois State, who I'm told is okay.
Okay.
But Omaha just had a bad night at the office. I'm not going to make that bet this year.
All right. Well, I haven't seen them yet, so I wouldn't be able to speak to it.
Yeah.
I did see them last year, and I thought, you know what? They might beat some teams.
How great is Jazz Shelley?
Great.
She is fun to watch.
She really is. She's everywhere. Amy was talking about yesterday how much she helps out, like on defense, even though she's not like a prototypical defender, like how a defender is supposed to look. But like she sort of gets her hands in passing lanes and stuff like that. She's very, very valuable for that.
She also feels like she's been at Nebraska for a long time.
It does. It does. It does. But this is only the third year, I think. And then she'll hand the baton off to Britt Prince next year.
She will, and then they will share the baton with another great player coming in 25.
Who might that be? Caitlin Clark?
Mathern from no. She will be in the WNBA and may play an exhibition game at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Booyah.
But they have a girl from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, who's really good.
Okay. Very good. I didn't know you were in on the Nebraska women's basketball recruiting scene.
I do because I know Amy, and so we talk recruiting.
Nice.
You know, she wants to pick my brain about what's going on in Omaha.
Sure.
And so I give her my limited knowledge. I said, there's a girl at Elkhorn North you're going to want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, she might be good.
Wow, that's great information, Gary.
I said, so we're 24 points a game. I don't know if you knew that.
We are to credit you with the Britt Prince.
I think I'll take some credit for it. Yeah.
All right, great.
And I said, hey, get to know her mom. You know, you might want to hire her mom someday.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. We have any good games? If I'm coming to a women's game, which I come to like 2 or 3 a year.
Do
we have any good games? Yes, I do.
Iowa.
I like women's basketball, especially when it's played at a high level. And Creighton and Nebraska play women's basketball at a high level.
They do. They indeed do. Well, there is that game, which I believe.
Well, no, I'm talking like games like entertainment. I want to be entertained.
Okay.
I don't want to just go and just watch basketball. I want like Connor Happer to be yelling at me.
Oh yeah, I'll be yelling at you.
Is Red Panda going to be?
She'll come around. She'll come around.
Maybe around the holidays.
It's usually January, February type of deal, but I'm sure she'll be around. Yeah, I mean the Nebraska Creighton game is going to be pretty good. I think
it will be. It'll be really
they play
good.
each other.
Creighton is a wagon.
Creighton is very good, and I think they would be the favorite in that game. They're trying to do their big sellout game this year against Indiana,
which would be the regular season champ, right?
The first week of January.
Yeah, we don't want to pay attention to that. We're not supposed to say our name. It's basketball season. We don't say our name. That one team from over east.
Oh, yeah.
We don't talk about Caitlin Clark.
That's a given.
I'm not pulling a Brian Ferentz here that said, oh, that school west of Omaha.
No, I don't think.
Remember that?
The school up
Remember
north?
when the confidence was brimming? He could do no wrong.
Yeah,
They just make jab after jab at Nebraska.
Do we have any good games? Like any entertainment, like stuff going on during timeouts?
Talk about like half. Stuff like that.
Yes.
Am I
going to get a T-shirt if I'm sitting in my regular seats?
There's
in the 200s.
Oh yeah, they get the T-shirt guns out.
Okay,
for sure.
All right.
A lot of good halftime.
Are we still
stuff.
doing the stupid drum?
We're doing not. It's not a stupid drum.
It's a dumb thing.
It's not.
Whoa.
You drum them out when they come out. Bung, 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 and then yesterday we didn't have a band, so it was a little bit difficult.
Where was the band yesterday?
Where's the band?
They were all at
Class?
school.
They had
No.
class?
No.
No, they got online
come
stuff.
on.
They had
They
to. They had to go to school.
Oh, so this is like Nebraska and punt returners. We don't have many. I mean, we don't have any. We got all these people that look like they're band members, but they can't come and.
Let's go have Billy Kemp
So
just
how do you
stand back
not
there.
have the home opener? How do you not have a pep band?
Well, it was an odd game. That's the odd game every year. The little noon with the pep rally before.
7,000 people there.
In
There was a pep rally before. Couldn't the band just walk into the arena?
a kid. So they bring all the
sportsmanship,
they bring all the
pep
kids
rally.
from around the state.
Oh,
Whoever wants to
okay,
come in.
okay.
Like 3,500 kids there yesterday. It was amazing. Half of them just.
Well, saw that the volleyball players had like this line trickling all the way down to get
Okay,
autographs.
so you saw that?
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
Yeah,
And,
that's cool though.
I mean, it was cool, but it was a pain in the butt.
Oh, really?
Like
Because it was basically they were like mid-level behind one of the goals, right?
and they found him,
And
and
then
then
they
all
were
of a
just-
sudden there's giant line to go get
Oh.
autographs
I mean,
during the game.
if
And
that's
so-
not rock star status, I don't know what it is, but
The
that's
people,
pretty cool.
we had to move them. Like they had to. They
Oh,
had
really?
to move them. Yeah, it was a
That's
problem.
awesome.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
it was, and they were great. Becca Alec talked before. She had a great met with Jordan Larson,
Mhm.
and I at that rally where they bring all the kids in and they tell them to try hard and do well in school and stuff.
Don't do
I don't
drugs.
think that I had ever seen. I might be wrong about this, but I don't think that I had ever seen representatives from the football team. And yesterday there were 3.
Okay.
Who were they?
Um, Ty Robinson,
Nice,
They had the Monday off.
the polar bear,
nice.
and Nick Henrich.
Oh, so you had like 3 somebodies too.
They all talked about what's
All right.
next.
Very
Okay.
cool.
What's next? What's next?
They give any insight on the next GB Rewind?
And then they brought in, some kids to shoot 3-pointers, and they're like, Ty Robinson is going to shoot 3-pointers too. And Nick was great on the microphone. Ty Robinson goes up, he misses a 3-pointer. Okay, kids, do you see how he missed that? And he didn't react. He just it was fantastic.
That's good sportsmanship right there, boys and girls.
That's exactly how you do it.
Nice.
You just say what's next.
And Nick
They used to
Hendricks
have,
sounded like Andrew Luck when he
They used
said
to
it.
have a big giant, like in February, sportsmanship pep rally when the Devaney Center was fitted for basketball.
Yeah.
They'd have like 13,000 people in there. It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like you'd have basketball players putting on a dunk contest, after their season was over. and
Incredible.
There were some guys that's where I learned that Kenny Cheatham is a dude. Like Kenny Cheatham can do any sport.
Yeah. Yep. I love that. Or you can have the Ty Robinson shooting 3.
So
that's good
I
too.
said this, and he's got a personality and he's got hair and people know who he is. Josiah Alec.
Mhm.
Could he make a a run for the popularity of Tominaga?
A different kind of popularity,
So-
but we always tend to rally around the glue guy, right?
So a friend of mine took his son to the game last night, and he said there was quite the line around Josiah after the game to get his autograph.
well, look at it. Look at the way he
Yeah.
plays.
And the way he
he's super
plays, the
popular.
look, you got the hair, but yeah, the way when you bring that type of energy like that, that's infectious.
Automatic fan favorite.
Yep.
For sure.
100%, especially in Nebraska, where you roll up the sleeves, you're blue collaring it up, going after the loose ball.
But it's a good point. Like, I mean, Nebraska men's basketball has not had guys who, when they walk around campus, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know who that is."
Yep.
They haven't had those guys really, and they have a couple of them this
The
year.
biggest guy most recent before Tominaga was Petaway.
Yes,
And he had a noticeable look.
Of course.
He was also one of their best players.
the hair.
But he had a noticeable look. But now they have 2 guys who are extremely popular. And so, like, kids are attracted to Tominaga. One, because some kids are as tall as Tominaga.
Right.
And then Alec, because of the hair and his personality. And they see him in a different venue than the basketball arena.
That's
You
good.
go and watch him play volleyball.
That's been a thing
Yeah,
with Nebraska basketball for a long time. They just haven't had those type
Yeah.
of guys who can engage. I think Greasel was that, although he was a little quieter, but people liked Greasel because he was from Lincoln. And
Well, Josiah even comes with the red and white overalls too. He's not just at the game; like he's in it.
oh yeah, no,
He's part of the students.
he's at the volleyball game right behind John Cook.
Yeah, yeah. We're like, is that's got to be Josiah Allen.
It's good to have. It's good to have advocates. I mean, that's a thing right now. I don't know if it's started by Matt Rule, but certainly encouraged by Matt Rule. Like, hey, let's go to other events. Let's be visible. Let's like make this a all for one for all deal.
And you would know this. I feel like it's probably a little bit more common where the women's basketball and volleyball players probably socialize together, like even before like Matt Rule like encouraged that with his football team. Like I would assume you probably see volleyball players at games you have in the past couple of years too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I figured that's probably nothing new.
A ton. Yeah, for sure. So it's one big happy family over there. Let's win some games.
Josh, are you worried about the Cubs in 2024?
Wow.
Am I worried about
Craig Counsell now taking over in the dugout?
Yeah.
I've seen the Brewers play before, so
Just
no.
discount that they're 1-9 in the last 10 playoff games.
Several of those against the Atlanta Braves.
You know what we need more in sports
Vogt?
after that cold-blooded move yesterday?
That was cold-blooded.
What? Yeah.
Their wild card collapse and
Is David Ross going to
some
Milwaukee?
of the excessive bunting and refusal to play younger guys, I think may have factored in the postseason meeting. But David Ross lost his job yesterday because he's not Craig Counsell.
That's it.
That's exactly what happened.
Why? I don't get what's the big deal about Craig Counsell. Like, why do we want Craig Counsell so much?
He is pretty good. He's pretty highly thought of in the business.
Okay.
And also you stuck it to the Mets. I mean,
That's true.
He's pretty good.
I like
the
sticking it to
postseason
the
has been rough, but now he's in a job that has more resources.
I mean, if you're Craig Counsell, you absolutely
also,
take it. Yeah.
Then why did he turn down Cleveland?
No, you know why
I
he
think
turned
of
down
Cleveland. I think resources.
Because of resources.
No, you know why he turned down? So that's a great sign if I'm a Cubs fan, which I am, is he looked at the young talent that Chicago has, a place that is going to spend money, and a top 5 farm system. He's like, yeah, I can go there and we can win.
Yeah, it's
that's kind of his reputation too, as far as being able to identify a roster and saying, hey, this is what we need, and he works well with front office. He works well as far as getting the roster fit to how they think they can compete. And that's kind of been his MO.
And side note, she's ridiculous.
I know she makes every shot.
Caitlin Clark last night.
Yeah.
My God.
There's some nice managerial openings if you're looking for some work.
The Brewers, yeah.
Brewers,
should David Ross just go to the
Astros,
Brewers? Just make a trade.
Padres is open.
Yep.
But what a slam on them.
Cleveland no longer.
The Mets hired the GM/president away from the Brewers when his contract was up because they thought they were going to get Counsell.
Yeah.
And they got the bench coach from the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucks.
So are we under the
Mets.
impression that they were just all vying for Craig Counsell's services?
And the Cubs quietly, like they went with the Theo Epstein playbook. When Renteria was the manager and they had a chance to get Madden, there was so much smoke and people could see that from miles away. And then it finally happened.
Yeah.
No one saw this yesterday.
No.
Not even David Ross.
Mm-mm.
Not even inkling of.
Definitely not David Ross.
No, all the insiders are like, okay, he's going to pick between the Brewers and the Mets. And then like 5 minutes before it happened, they're like, there's a third team who has a manager.
Was it John? I think John Heyman was the first to say there is a surprise team. And within the hour,
that's what I was hoping. Is
Ken Rosenthal's like, he's going to the Cubs. And I saw it and I was like, huh? But here's why don't we have this more in sports to build rivalries? We just steal each other's managers. It doesn't happen in soccer.
Yeah.
Right, like
European soccer doesn't happen a lot.
That's why I'm interested in this. Like division rivals have have stolen things from each other, and it's NBA levels of petty. Like,
like manager. I mean, I'm not saying that managers don't matter, but like,
Okay, so
do
people
all
across sports head coaches?
If you could like, out of all the 4 major sports, I guess 3 major sports, you take out hockey, like. Would baseball be the least amount of people that you could name who actually their head coach / manager is?
Yeah, I mean, with the
probably,
I would say the NBA.
That's fair.
I mean, you could
Can
definitely
you guys name the head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I cannot.
First name's Mark.
Mark. I don't know Mark.
I think you could do more in baseball because
you could
they're probably more visual.
I do a little bit more in baseball than basketball.
Now the NFL,
but it's close. The NFL,
we wouldn't pull a Travis Kelce here and just completely fan on the coach's picture. But I bet between the 4 of us, we could probably we would be able to name every NFL head coach.
You think we can knock all 3 of those sports out, all 4 of us together with our 4 brains combined?
Yes.
I think we probably could. Probably. There would be somebody in this room who would know who the coach of the Utah Jazz is.
You need you need the wild card. Like
Maybe.
I would come in and I'd be able to drop that Jacques Vaughn is the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Vaughn, Rock Chalk.
But look at like in college.
Who is the coach?
You know, so
Okay, let's just do that one real quick.
Okay.
Who's the head coach of the Utah Jazz?
God, okay.
Who's the head coach of the Utah Jazz? Not Josh,
Nope.
because he knows
Yep.
it now.
I don't know.
Anybody? Gary? I sure as hell don't.
I don't.
I can't imagine you would know.
well, it sucks because it used to be Quinn Snyder.
Yeah.
Of
And now
course.
he's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It is.
So we don't know. Just
I
to
don't
make
know.
that clear.
Oh,
we do
okay.
not know.
I had to look up too.
35-year-old Will Hardy.
Perfect. We would have never ever got that.
I googled
No relation to Tom.
I googled Utah Jazz coach. A photograph did not come up.
Yep. It just says Will Hardy.
I still don't know what this person looks like.
So there's the stumper right
On his
there.
Wikipedia page, he's wearing a Celtics shirt.
Yes, yeah, because he came from the Celtics.
That's right. Danny Ainge.
So okay, and this guy is actually an up and comer in the business.
I'm sure he is. He's 35 years old.
Well, another young guy, the head coach of the Pelicans.
Who's that? Anybody?
Nope. I actually picked him as my coach of the year, so I know this one. Willie Green.
Oh, Willie Green.
Which is like that sounds like a perfect
That's a
head
great
coach
name.
of a basketball team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, Willie Green.
Mm-hmm.
Old Willie Green.
But if I said who was the manager of the LA Angels?
First name that comes to my head is Mike Scioscia.
Joe Madden.
No, there was no. Nevin. Phil Nevin.
Phil Nevin.
Yeah, Phil
yeah,
Nevin.
okay, we see. Yeah.
There were we could have got there.
See, I think we could do all of the Major League Baseball teams.
Yeah, because we're baseball guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we could get the NBAs.
Well, but there are some like to reach. Like, do you think the Cincinnati Reds manager is well known?
David Bell, is he still the manager of the Cincinnati Reds?
Yes.
Are we sure?
75% sure.
We seem unsure.
I'm 75% sure he is.
Gary,
you
you gonna give me a yes? Okay.
You are correct.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Good. How about the
I
Detroit
had-
Tigers?
Oh, here you
I had to
go.
think about it.
Oh,
Like,
here
was
you
there-
go.
Like, was there a firing recently?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, Marmol.
Yeah. Ali Marmol.
Yeah. How about the Detroit Tigers?
Oh, you're AL Central guys. You should know this.
I know.
AJ Hinch.
Yeah, it's
AJ Hinch.
Okay, so here's a guy that is going to get run for
Guys
manager
naming
of the year.
dudes is back.
You
by
guys
the
know
way.
Stephen Vogt?
The Miami Marlins.
Oh.
Not Don Mattingly anymore.
Nope. Not Jeff Torborg.
Yeah.
Not Jack McKeon.
Not Jack McKeon. It should have been Jack
He's a
McKeon
former,
forever.
He's a former Cardinal.
Well, it's not council?
Is Jack McKeon still with us?
Skip
Schumacher.
Schumacher. Yeah, Schumacher.
Yep.
Hey, I got it.
Is
Okay.
Jack
here-
McKeon still
so here's
alive?
another one.
Yes.
You would know this because they're in your division.
He's 92.
How many people can just rattle off who the manager of the Phillies is?
Not very many.
Isn't that wild? Because they've been in the spotlight for 2
Yeah.
straight years. Rob Thompson.
Rob Thompson.
Now,
Not the
Okay,
lead
so
singer
maybe
of
we'd
Matchbox Twenty.
fall shorter on MLB than I thought we might.
no, we could do this. The Toronto Blue Jays.
You wouldn't have known the Diamondbacks until this postseason run. You wouldn't have.
Now,
you wouldn't
I
have
would,
came up with
'cause-
Torey Lavulo.
because he's been there for a while and he's been a candidate for other jobs.
Yeah.
Toronto Blue Jays.
John Schneider.
Schneider, because he's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should be fired. He should have been fired
Now-
yesterday.
So your team.
Why are we taking out Jose Barrios in a playoff game?
There are a lot of people that cannot name the manager of the Royals.
Second time through the lineup.
Yeah. Nick, can you name the manager of the Royals?
No. No, I can't.
Wow. Division foe.
Yeah.
That's actually fine. I get it. We're flying under the radar with Matt Cotrero.
Oh, Couture. Yeah, okay.
Cotrero.
That's right.
Cotrero.
Yeah.
He does fly under the radar. I think Rocco with the Twins is pretty well known
Yes.
because he's got an interesting name.
And
former
a
player.
set
I can give you
Twins.
Pedro Grifal
Yeah,
with the White Sox.
Pedro Grifal,
Yeah.
former
I know
former
him.
Royal.
And I knew AJ Hinch with the Tigers. So yeah, actually, out of all
Scott
of my
Service
division,
with the Mariners. Open with Houston.
Rocco.
Who was
Bruce
the
Bochy with the Rangers.
Who doesn't know Rocco?
who-
Angels are open.
who was before Bochy
in Texas?
in Texas?
Um,
Is it like Brian Bannister or something like that?
yes, it was Brian
Nice.
Bannister. Pretty sure it was.
Is it Brian Bannister or is it a different Bannister?
No, I think it was Brian Bannister.
Former Royal Brian Bannister was their manager last year. Is that what we are to believe?
That sounds right. Yeah.
I stopped paying attention to him when Ron Washington lost his job.
That's right.
Everybody knows.
Stay in Atlanta, Ron. Don't take one of these high-profile job openings. You stay right there.
Everybody
on
knows
third
Kevin
base.
Cash.
Everybody loves you.
Oh no, Chris Woodward.
Oh, that's right.
Chris Woodward.
That's right. He actually had like a
And also the banister was Jeff, not Brian.
Yeah, Brian is in the majors. He may be a coach somewhere. But what if we did this with? Okay, so this is a good experiment. Could we do every Power 5 head coach in football?
Yes. Yeah, I believe that we could.
After the wheel last year, I feel I have a depth that I didn't have.
I mean, just throw away the Big Ten. We got it all. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go out to the Pac-12.
Okay.
Let's go out to the Pac-12. So we know
half that league though is pretty recognizable.
Yeah.
Whittingham, Utah.
Yeah. Where's the stumper in the Pac-12? Stanford.
Maybe Arizona, and he might win Coach of the
Year.
Jed
Fish.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about Stanford?
You know what? Well,
the guy who came from like Portland State.
The stumpers in the ACC because we don't watch that.
Isn't it Troy Taylor?
Yes.
Came from Sacramento State.
Yes, Sacramento State.
So maybe Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if I would have got there.
32, but Arizona might be the stumper, but I think he might be the coach.
No, Jed Fish is good. Yeah. We had a whole segment where we made fun of him before last year, and then we realized, oh no, we're wrong about this.
Mississippi State.
Oh,
not Derek. Zach. Is it Zach Arnett?
He's like a Arnett for sure.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett.
He's like a 30s guy. You know, he's one of those up and comers.
And he doesn't really count because, he was given the job. What would be the stumper in the SEC? I don't know. They're
South Carolina.
They're
we know
so
Beamer.
visible in the SEC.
Yeah.
Mississippi State's the only one that might catch you off guard.
Kentucky, everyone knows
Stoops. Yeah, if he's been there for long.
Now, the league that would stump you is the ACC.
For sure.
That's where I was thinking.
For sure.
Head coach at
Dave Doran.
Mac Brown. Knows Dave Clausen, Mac Brown, Dabo,
Mario Cristobal,
Mike Norvell,
Syracuse
Mario Cristobal,
Dino Babers.
Syracuse. Yeah. How about Boston College?
What's his name from Ohio State? He's still there, right?
Yep. Who was the first coach to offer Heinrich Harburg a scholarship? Jeff Hafley.
Okay.
Could we name 4 hockey coaches?
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Gary's got that one.
Mike Sullivan for the Penguins.
Okay.
I would go 0 for 30 or
I'm
whatever.
going to take your word on that.
Really? You
I
guys
don't
couldn't
think I can name
one?
a single NHL coach. Nope.
Luke Richardson.
Blackhawks.
Well, Q got fired in Florida.
Quenville, yeah.
I could name a bunch of former players and just see if they're coaches. Like, what's Patrick Waugh doing?
He's not coaching.
He's in front office, though, right?
Joe Sakic?
Yeah, Joe Sakic. Yeah. Is Jaromir Jagr somewhere? Or is he?
He is still playing, but he is over a season.
Not the Mike Babcock you're thinking of.
Okay. So, David Hackstall.
Yep.
Former USHL coach, former head coach in North Dakota.
Former North Dakota coach.
Former Flyer coach,
and
current
who's
Seattle Kraken coach.
Oh, the Crack Wagon, Josh.
Yeah. Love the Crack Wagon. Those are my guys.
You could probably get away with just going, Pierre Maguire. Where's he at this year?
Can you name 2 WNBA coaches?
Yes.
Becky Hammonds.
Becky Hammond.
That's the first one comes to mind.
That's why we went 2.
Yep.
Damn it.
I used to be able to name more.
What's Lisa Leslie doing?
She's in broadcasting.
Damn it. Yeah, she's
Rebecca Lobo, off the table.
I used to know he was the former Kansas State head coach, was the head coach of the Lynx.
Bruce Weber? Oh.
But the
Bruce Weber's coaching the WNBA.
Bruce Weber,
what's he doing? He's probably getting to the NCAA tournament.
The WNBA would be tough.
Yeah, the WNBA. Sorry. I'd have to apologize beforehand on that one. Same with the NHL.
He's probably
one of them is a former player that you may recognize, but probably won't.
Diana Taurasi.
She's still playing.
How?
I know.
How?
She's been playing for a long time.
Teresa Weatherspoon.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go.
Now, is she the new coach for Chicago?
Yes.
Okay. The Chicago Sky.
Brand new. She's been there less than a month.
their head coach kind of left.
So Caitlin Clark's going to have a 20-year WNBA career, and then she's going to be the coach of what team?
Well, the team
Omaha Steel.
The Golden State expansion.
Will there be an Iowa team? It could be an Iowa team.
The Iowa,
the Des Moines Fire.
Can you name
Iowa Tide.
every men's basketball coach in the Big East?
Yes, I can.
Would the stumper be DePaul?
The stumper would now be DePaul.
What about would the stumper also be Providence?
Yeah. Kim English, he's back. Folks
from Missouri.
The DePaul coach is Tony, right?
Stubblefield.
Yeah.
I know it changes yearly.
They kind of keep coaches around for a while.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, they're bad the entire time.
They keep thinking they're going to find their next Ray Meyer.
Greg's the longest tenured coach by a lot.
Yeah. Well, with Jay Wright stepped down.
Yeah.
And he retired.
And respect to Ed Cooley moving over to Georgetown.
A lot of 21, 22s, and 23s on this list.
Neptune is kind of I know he just came on board recently, but he's younger, right? He's like,
oh yeah.
Cal Neptune is.
Have you seen his?
Oh, he's dapper.
His collars.
Yeah, the collars.
Yeah.
Turtlenecks.
He wears turtlenecks.
Turtlenecks, yeah.
But like he could pull it off.
Yeah, he does.
He's jacked.
Well, that and he's got the suit coat over the turtleneck, which again, yeah, you're
so
right.
Good.
If you are jacked, that's a strong.
I never thought they'd have another coach who could live up to the 3-piece suit with Jay.
Nobody's more dapper than old Jay.
How do you think Pitino looks tonight? This is his debut.
I think
St. John's.
I think all black.
Yeah, pinstripes maybe.
Maybe
he'll have his vampire look.
Yeah, he'll have a red tie with all black suit.
He is New York City's coach.
Maybe with some big white pinstripes.
He's had this suit picked out since the day he was announced.
But remember, we're not wearing suits.
Oh, he will.
Casual.
He will tonight.
Will he have a?
That's a good question.
He should just wear a sweatsuit.
Will Rick Pitino? Like a velvet sweatsuit, like a tracksuit.
Well, stuff.
I remember when I was a kid growing up, George Raveling, who was coaching at Iowa, George Raveling would wear a tracksuit on the sidelines. And I was like, "What is this?"
It's such a good.
Now, have you guys ever been to a high school game where the whole staff is in tracksuits?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's a little bit like whoa.
Yeah.
And now
but at least
all of us are casual of with a 3/4 zip and.
That's a great question. Will Rick Pitino wear a suit tonight? I bet he might not.
Most of the time, I see him in a St. John's,
like a 3/4. Yeah. So I
appreciate how the coaching staffs have now, they've coordinated their.
Yeah,
we're not doing it.
They're all doing the 3/4. Everybody's like,
but they're the same.
Like if you're wearing a suit now, like amongst the Power Six, you're probably try hard guy. Like, this is PJ Fleck over here.
I mean, we got college basketball staffs getting so big now. How soon before they put all of them in different colors and they start throwing out different signals from the bench area? The blue Rutgers guy.
Gonna have to.
Yeah, is the indicator.
Ohio State has that too on their sidelines, and they have coordinating hats.
Yeah, the hats.
All I know is I would like
green.
I would love like a yellow Nebraska sweatshirt.
Oh, you can get them. Where do you think you go to have that done? Because it's so a lot of people saw the Rutgers picture that was shared yesterday. That's their licensed logo that is only supposed to be on their color scheme.
I assume they just make it in the office.
I think Adidas throws them a bone. It's part of their coaching
the equipment
package.
guy.
But they could get
we
yellow
have four
sweatshirts.
We have 4 different play signalers.
Yep.
They need 4 different colors. Go.
Yep. And just go ahead and print a logo on there.
Didn't was it under Riley? The person signaling in plays wore a green Nebraska hat.
Yeah, I had the green one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love those. I mean, because Nebraska sells them for because they wear them on St. Patrick's Day.
They do, and they for Curtis Ledbetter's daughter Lainey, who had sort of a health issue growing up. Green was like the color for that particular thing. So there would be a weekend they'd wear not St. Patrick's Day weekend, but they wear green Nebraska hats too. And Adidas made a bunch of them.
But I think that there should be more of pilfering of other people's coaches. Like Belichick might get traded to the Washington.
That'd be awesome.
At the end of the season, Vrabel will leave Tennessee. He'll go to New England, and Belichick will go to DC.
Sounds amazing.
I mean,
that's always been my fear for years. Vrabel's is going to leave me.
Look to create rivalries in college athletics. What happened when John Cook retires? Everybody said, "Well, here's a list of former John Cook assistants." Nebraska comes to Omaha, and they say, "Kirsten, come on down."
Oh God.
Oh.
That would set off some fireworks.
Well, there's always that. Yeah. I mean, I know he would have been at one spot before, but there was always that talk of if not Fred, is it Dana?
Well, every year we talk about Mac potentially taking the Nebraska job.
Was it when the job was open with Collier? Dana wanted a call from Bill Byrne. Like he said, he calls me, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
But
would have
a lot of
How would that have gone?
That would have added a little spice to the yearly
Just
meeting.
a little bit.
Did Bill Moose ever reach out in the westerly direction?
I think that was all a rumor.
Okay. Well, they got their first guy, so didn't really
yes,
have
they
to.
did. But I think we should have more of that. Like, just imagine how ruthless it would be in college football. Like, Texas needs a coach, and they go and get, well, in this case, they wouldn't go get Jimbo Fisher, but Texas goes and takes Texas A&M's coach.
Yeah, that would be sparks would fly for sure. Texas A&M has made itself like impervious though to people outspending them on things, you know. So it's not like Texas is going to come in and be like, here's $12 million. Why don't you come coach? Texas A&M would just be like, okay, here's $20 million to be the coach.
Like Nick
they
Saban,
don't care.
Nick Saban decided, you know what, I'm going to go
How
back to
does-
LSU. I'm going to finish my career.
How does
at
Texas
LSU.
A&M have more money than God?
Yeah, it's a great question.
It's
They have
oil.
an
It's
en-
oil
they
money,
have
Gary.
an endless pit of money.
It's called
endless.
oil
They
money.
they spend money all over the place.
It doesn't matter, and they're going to have to fire Jimbo Fisher this year, and his buyout's like $100 million right
Gonna
now.
build a new stadium with that money. It's kind of crazy.
I don't know.
It's over 50, right?
It was 100 after last year. I know that. So it might have come down to.
Actually, no. If that's the case, then that maybe it's in the 80s.
I think it might be in the 80s.
Well, they haven't won a
Good
road
Lord.
game in a few years.
Because I couldn't remember.
Kevin Sumlin has a better record through the same amount of games that Jimbo Fisher had.
Jimbo Fisher buyout.
Because I thought I remember seeing like an $80-85 million buyout, but I couldn't remember if that was last year or if that's this year.
10 years left. Is this true? 10 years left? Or no. 94.95 million when he signed, and every dollar of it was guaranteed.
Mayor
Lord.
Joel just sent me a.
So after 2023, if Jimbo Fisher is fired, it'd be $76.8
Okay,
million.
76.
Mayor Joel just sent me this on the Husker Hounds website. Look at the yellow and green cap. And how
Ah, there you go. There's your play calling cap right there.
it says signal hat.
Start signaling in plays.
Next to the visor. I'm glad that this fan base is not a big visor fan base.
Yeah.
That's too cool out.
Yeah, you got to keep the top of that head
Mhm.
nice and warm.
If we were in this Southeastern Conference, we'd have a lot more visor.
We are
visibility.
definitely. It's definitely not a visor. It's not a visor state.
It's not
You know,
the climate. It's the climate.
Mhm. It is.
it's the climate,
It's
but
all
it's
about the
also
climate.
the people. I don't think we're a visor people here. There's a
Scott
couple.
Strohmeier, visor guy.
He is.
I know.
He is.
But
he's,
is it only
he's Canadian.
is the visor close enough? Is the visor only cool on football coaches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the golf thing is out. I think once upon a time you could rock a visor in golf, and now you just look like Bubba Watson.
I think the visor got ruined when they came out with the fake visor that has the hair.
The hair. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they
yeah.
ruined the whole visor aspect.
Well, no, it was actually the dip blanks that decided to like put them upside down and backwards. Remember that? That was
a
thing?
great time.
Yeah, people were like, the visor's not enough. I got to go upside down and backwards.
What a great time in our country.
Yeah. They probably also had a couple collars popped too.
The amazing Daniel writes in on the YouTube the scenario that you gave out involving Nebraska volleyball and Creighton volleyball. He says that would be like Nebraska women's basketball stealing Creighton's coach, which famously
That was a good hire.
happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
Connie
To
Yori.
come and hire Connie Yori.
was a good hire.
Well, so they could have taken Connie Yori and Dana Altman. And Nebraska treats
They
Creighton
just
like
move-
AAA.
Yeah.
Move it all over.
Yep.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Well, then there was a conversation, and I don't honestly know if there was any even remotely any substance to it, but of getting Connie Yori over to Omaha. Like, well, that would be it'd be great for Omaha. She's someone that can develop, and they could be competitive right away. So then you would have Connie Yori going to Omaha, to Lincoln, back to Omaha, but going to Creighton, Nebraska, then UNO. I don't think they could have paid Connie Yori what you probably need to pay her, but
Yeah.
I just remember that was like a wish list that a lot of people were discussing. Like, I don't think
I would say that's on a
realistic.
short list of trivia questions. Name a person that has coached at all three schools.
Ooh. How many of them are there?
Damn it! If Lance Leipold only would have coached at Creighton, damn it! They only would have had a football program. We could knock that out of the park.
I mean, we got plenty with two, but
Yeah,
I don't-
all three.
has anybody hit the trifecta?
I can't.
Well,
think
maybe
of
the
one.
era of the transfer portal will have somebody who plays at all three.
Yeah. I mean, baseball, it's been happening for a while.
Yes.
I I can't recall him volleyball.
Playing at all three?
Yeah. But baseball, it's been going on for a while. I remember there was a guy named Tim Seaton back in the 90s. He played at both schools and got into a dust-up when he came to Nebraska when Creighton played.
We've had many baseball players play at 2 out of the 3.
Yes.
Many.
And because they're being recruited by both schools when they're in high school, doesn't work out.
Right.
They're like, I already know you guys. I'm just going to stay home.
I'm going to go down the road a little bit here.
You had Warren with Creighton. And
what if we had a basketball player?
If we had a basketball player play at both Nebraska and Creighton?
What if it was Casey?
Oh, hey.
That would just rip hearts out of people.
Nebraska fans would be done.
Yeah. Like, yep, there's no hope.
Oh, seriously. There would be like, if somebody went from Nebraska to Creighton, it'd be like, we're supposed to, people are like, we're supposed to be the big brother.
Yeah.
Here, and stuff like that.
We get that guy.
Oh man. Yeah. That'd be bad. Now they've lost. I mean, they've fought many recruiting battles against each other.
Yeah.
For various instances.
But never had someone like in the program and then all of a sudden, all right, peace out. I'm going over here.
Yeah. Have we not? No, I guess we haven't. Nebraska.
Not that I mean, if it happened, it would have been a
So I had to look this up just to make sure. So Ross Ferrarini went to Nebraska first and then finished at Creighton, but he redshirted at Nebraska.
Oh, okay, so you never saw him
back in what, 09?
Okay. So he didn't actually impact Nebraska.
Akola Rope was on a good run. He could have, held out and played at Creighton this year. He played all 3 schools.
Yeah, he could have done that.
Man,
but we need coaches. This is what makes this better because the rivalry now between the Brewers and the Cubs be a little salty.
Guys are.
That's what I'm asking. Like, is David Ross up for the Brewers job? He's going to flop. Going to switch him.
That would be.
I don't think the Brewers would want to.
I don't think they would love that very much. Yeah. But people are enjoying the guys naming dudes conversation, which is great. We're due for that about one crossover a week. We just let's see how many dudes you can name. I mean, Josh, if you came up with if you transcribed a list of all the people that we've named during this segment, it would be hilarious. People named during the crossover of
head coach of the Sacramento Kings.
Young guy. Luke. No, he got fired.
Luke Walton got fired. Yes,
yeah,
he did. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, who took his spot?
Mike Brown, coach of the year in the
NBA.
Mike
Brown.
That's right.
Mike Brown.
Yeah.
How about the head coach? Oh, here's one. How about the head coach of the Orlando Magic?
Don't have a chance.
No.
Don't have a chance. Do you have a chance?
No. It used to be Frank Vogel. I had to look it up. Steve Clifford?
No, it's Jamal Mosley.
Oh my God.
We had no shot in that one.
We did not. Glad we gave up.
I'd be curious if I can get 50% of it that I've even heard of.
Do you think the Orlando Magic know that Jamal Mosley is their head coach?
Ask most season ticket holders, and they would say no.
Well, okay. Before last year, how many people knew who Michael Malone was?
I don't know. Hard for me to tell.
Yep.
You're a fan.
Yeah, I'm a Nuggets guy.
Mm-hmm.
Go Nuggets.
I'd say very few.
Who's the head coach of the Washington Wizards?
If
you can pull this one, I'd be impressed.
This is interesting.
It's a.
I think
it's a fairly well-known guy.
Yeah. Yes. He's got a name.
Yes.
I think he gets it for the record.
No, I'm not. I'm going to fan on this one. I want to say Steve Clifford.
Nope.
No.
You might say he's a legacy.
Wes Unseld Jr. Wes Unseld Jr.
Damn. I believed in you.
Would anybody even come remotely close to the Toronto Raptors head coach?
It's not Nick Nurse.
Nope.
Just kidding.
No, he's the coach of the Sixers now.
I know.
Isn't it? I think it's a Popovich assistant.
Kind of.
He's got a French name.
It's not a Popovich assistant, by the way.
European of some kind. Yes.
He is. He
Franco.
He hails from the country of Serbia, aka formerly known as Yugoslavia.
Franco Barrera.
Darko Rajakovic.
Nope. Nope.
Timberwolves.
That's Chris Finch.
Okay.
Nice. Very good.
Detroit Pistons.
Monty Williams.
Yes.
Nice.
Good job.
That's right. He got fired.
I'm just waiting for somebody to ask me about Tibbs.
Yeah, where's Tibbs at?
Yeah, come on. Give me the Knicks.
Tibbs is still there.
Give me the Bulls. Billy Donovan.
Tibbs has not been fired in disgrace from the Knicks yet.
Yeah, will he be there on Memorial Day?
Let's go Cleveland Cavaliers.
J.B. Bickerstaff.
Okay.
Nice
job.
Oh,
J.B. Bickerstaff.
still in the league.
That one I was kind of sitting on. I was waiting for that one.
The Rockets one is known.
Yeah, because he's
yeah.
old boy.
Ime Udoka.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you cheat on Neil Long? Allegedly.
Who does that?
How about the Dallas Mavericks?
Jason Kidd's still there, right?
It's got to be.
Yeah, Jason Kidd.
Okay, how about the head coach of one of the best teams in the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks?
Adrian Griffin.
Adrian Griffin.
Good.
Who is that?
Have I ever seen that?
I'm glad you asked the question. I'm glad you asked that question.
Wasn't he assistant under Nick Nurse with the Raptors?
I know him.
I think that's where he was.
Okay.
Well,
so I don't think we do very good at the NBA.
But the topper to start all this is the head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder is, and if you go, so there's a thread on TikTok where they actually asked the current Thunder players, did you know who the head coach was before you were drafted or signed in Oklahoma
There's
City?
no chance.
No. So as Jalen Williams was like,
Grant Gibbs.
He goes, it was like, it might've been Matt Barnes on their podcast. And he goes, did you know who Mark was? And he goes, no. He goes, I didn't even know what his name was.
How do you say his last name?
Daignault?
Yeah, it's like
I think that's how you Daignault?
Daignault.
Yeah. I don't think
it's Dagno.
I think I'd probably get
Depends on the
a
province.
third of the league in the NBA. A third of the league. And I might be good for 50 to 70% of MLB.
What about NFL? Arizona Cardinals.
NFL, I think I'd go 100% Jonathan Gannon.
Indianapolis Colts.
Steichen.
Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
Noise.
See, there's a lot of notable coaches. Like the NFL, all those guys are pretty much.
Yeah, we know football coaches. Football coaches are important. Baseball managers, basketball coaches,
I like this.
Guys naming dudes.
Why was Ric Flair in Ann Arbor yesterday?
Because Jim Harbaugh wants to throw middle fingers at everybody.
They're best friends now.
Because Harbaugh has the point down. That is like a solid Happer on your scale. That's a solid point.
I like Flair with the fist, with the closed fist. Woo! It's nice.
Both men famous for cheating to win.
All right, boys. Have a great afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
See you at the basketball game tonight.
Yes, I'll be looking forward to you on the video board.
Jay's Live, by the way, is what it's
How
called.
long does Jay's Live go before the game?
Jay's when's it on?
Yeah.
We start at the 14-minute mark on the clock. Set your clocks.
Damn.
All right. So I'll make my way into the bowl of the stadium to watch you.
And then I think right after
Do you
I'm
have any
done,
special guests?
they start playing the Budweiser song, which is it's still my favorite thing of all time in Creighton athletics.
Do you have any special guests?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't believe so. We'll see if any dignitaries stop by.
Do you want my takes during the show?
Yeah.
Can Josh just come by and just give you takes?
Here's Josh with takes.
That should be a segment.
Yeah, Josh is
Jay's
takes.
Live.
Josh with takes.
Takes by Josh.
The
Bill's
crossover
Bronze.
is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha.
Tell you about Mayor Mike.
And
He should be the mayor in 25.
Everlevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Time for your Grum Down. The Trev Troubles, the story that broke yesterday from the Flatwater Free Press.
Freaking bugs.
What? You just murdered it in cold blood. Anywho.
They're crawling everywhere, John. There's another one. The bugs.
Anyway, back to the Grum Down.
Yeah, the Grum Down. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Cool start to Tuesday with temperatures in the 30s and low 40s. Expect partly cloudy skies through most of the day with a southeast breeze. More mild in the afternoon with highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Start your engines.
Joe's Indoor Karting in Council Bluffs is off the charts crazy. Joe's Karting is fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, wheel-to-wheel racing action at over 40 miles per hour. The only speed restriction on these karts is how good you are. Joe's Karting is located just a couple of blocks north of Bass Pro Shop and directly east of AMC Theater in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Go watch a movie. Come race at Joe's. Planning a bachelor party, graduation party, or just a night out with friends? Go to Joe's. Remember, Joe's Karting is your place to race.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's hot outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink icy cold, Nebraska-brewed beers, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here with Dr. Lance Kugler of Kugler Vision. You know, it's been 5.5 years since I had my procedure done at Kugler Vision. I remember going in for the eye analysis and finding out, hey, there's something other than LASIK. That seems to be such a misnomer with so many people, but that's not always the case because there are actually 7 forms of modern vision correction.
Sure, yeah, and obviously LASIK is a huge part of what we do, but as technology improves over the years, over the decades, we continue to add different technologies that become better options for people depending on what they need.
Yeah, and one of the things that I found absolutely incredible was the eye analysis process. You want to know as much about anyone's eyes as you can because that's how you figure out which of those procedures are going to qualify for.
Yeah, our eye analysis process is the most thorough evaluation of your eye that you can possibly have. We all have the same goal. We want you to see as well as you possibly can.
Schedule an eye analysis today. You can visit their website, kuglervision.com.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It is the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. I have returned from
welcome back
opening day of basketball yesterday. Josh, thank you. How did things go? Jimmy, have any fire takes?
No fire takes.
Okay,
that's
good. Keep it low key.
Yeah. Just get through the day.
I don't need the show with my name on it making any national headlines the day that I'm not there. Some guy named Connor Happer on the Connor Happer Show said something
Jimmy.
crazy.
No, it's
It's not me. I'm just sitting here watching women's basketball. I'm innocent. I promise. We're back, and we will give you the fire takes. Maybe today's the day that we make national headlines on a Tuesday show. Allan Bell will join in just a little bit, a little over a half hour at 11:30. We'll talk to Iowa Western football head coach Scott Strohmeier. It is Reavers and what's the Hutch mascot, Josh?
The Blue Dragons.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I drew the dragon blue because, well, I've always wanted to see a blue dragon.
Blue Dragons. 1-2 in the regular season finale. What a perfect game to have in the regular season finale, Josh.
It's like Ohio State, Michigan.
It is kind of. Both teams undefeated, and both teams will almost certainly be a member of the 4-team JUCO playoffs, but the 1 seed will be decided on Saturday in Hutchinson, Kansas. Josh will be there.
I will.
And we'll talk to, how long of a drive is that, Josh?
That's a great question.
You just hop in the van?
I really do just hop in.
You just hop in the van and I get out when I get out.
4.5 hours.
4.5. That's pretty reasonable.
Pretty doable.
Very, very doable. Stro will join us at 12:30. NFL reaction, overreaction returns. I'd like to have a quiet. So we'll go through a couple topics and we'll overreact or appropriately react to some teams and their performances this weekend, with a little bit of focus on the top, and who's at the top and who's in what tier of the NFL. But also want to talk about quarterbacks too. I've noticed that, we used to have, you could separate the tiers into however many you want, I think, sort of in the NFL. But if you did a simple tier system of NFL quarterbacks of just 3, good, can win a Super Bowl, you got no questions. The second one is the middle, and you kind of don't know where to go. You are maybe placeholding at quarterback. And then the third tier is you're just bad and you're probably waiting for the next one to come in. I have noticed that the middle tier is sort of eroding, or maybe has completely eroded. Injuries haven't helped that this year in the NFL. But we've had a couple players sort of jump up maybe a little bit, and then we've had some that have bumped way down this year. So we'll have that conversation. We'll surround it around one guy who has maybe made that jump into the top tier this year. We'll do that during NFL reaction overreaction, starting at 1:00. Elsewhere, we had opening day last night in basketball. The Nebraska men and women played their opening day. The Omaha men and women played their opening day. Creighton women played their opening game last night in the Pentagon at Sioux Falls. And the Creighton men get going tonight against Florida A&M, who will do the tour. They will play. The Rattlers will play in Omaha tonight, which is an 8:00 tip, which I was very disappointed to learn that when I woke this morning. I was thinking 7 for some reason. And they will play Nebraska on Thursday at Pinnacle Bank Arena. And then
Rick Pitino's got to go first tonight, and then Creighton can play.
Maybe that's the team that we ask. Josh, maybe we should ask. We should get a Florida A&M player on Friday and be like, all right, tell us definitively which team is better, which place to play in is better, which atmosphere did you like, which was more difficult, all that stuff. We could because I heard him talk about it on the morning show this morning, the arenas that we have in the state and the atmospheres and stuff like that. Okay. We just get a team that's played in both of them 2 out of the 3 days, and you just ask them. We definitely won't do that, by the way, but we could. So we can talk a little bit of hoops today. I do have some takes regarding the football over the weekend and the football going forward for Nebraska as they still sit on the edge of bowl eligibility. One more win. That's what this is all about, right? One more win, and they get you to bowl eligibility. It's certainly not out of the question at this point, but I have some thoughts from over the weekend, and I have some thoughts from what Nebraska's doing and what Matt Rule said yesterday, too. We can get to some of the audio on that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we will have the information on what the punishment is up in Michigan today or tomorrow. Michigan has been informed that it will likely be disciplined, and they have a certain amount of time to respond to those. Now, they don't know what they're going to get punished with at this point, but hey, here's the deal. And the, of course, response from Michigan yesterday was, okay, great. We're going to take you to court. Fine. I'll sue you. That was American. That was the response yesterday from Michigan. So this will be a fun finish to the season for them. And by the way, we have our James Madison takeover. They're 9-0 in football. They beat Michigan State in basketball last night. It's James Madison time.
They have sent a letter to the NCAA that said, we'll take our bowl game now. Try and stop us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would probably try successfully to stop them from getting to the bowl game. But I'm just saying, we're looking at a James Madison takeover. James Madison is everywhere. James Madison is like the new Grand Canyon. Everybody wants to be at James Madison now.
There would be a New Year's Six bowl if
they
are
are
allowed to be in a bowl.
I mean, they're pretty clearly the best Group of 5 team right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would be fighting that fight as well. all things that we will discuss on the show today. Even if you don't want to give them a New Year's Six bowl, you can just give them a bowl game. At the very least.
Send them to the Bahamas and South Carolina.
Send them anywhere. I think they'd love to go anywhere, and then destroy whichever. I think they'd love to get a Power 5 team, and then
that's the matchup we want to see.
Right. But what will James Madison be doing in about 6 weeks' time here? Maybe they will be sitting at home. We are off and running on a Tuesday. That's the lineup powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We'd love it if you got in touch with the show, 402-951-1620. On the 42 Degrees The Source hotline, you can call or you can text that number. You can tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer, the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. I was happy, Josh, when I had a couple minutes of downtime yesterday during the show. I voted in a poll question of the Connor Happer Show,
Wonderful.
like live for the first time, and I wondered what's happening here. And
I have no context for this question.
it was something about Gronk. What was the question about Gronk yesterday?
Do you want your Gronk to be buttoned up?
That was it. I voted in that one, and I said no.
Yeah, no.
Definitively no. I don't want my Gronk to be buttoned up.
You
Why
don't
would I want that?
Professional executive Gronk. You want bro tank party Gronk.
Yeah, I don't need to know the context in which that came up. I'm just happy to be able to vote in it, as just like a normal listener, a normal person who just intakes the Connor Happer Show, and in some way, shape, or form. All right, so there you are. There's all the ways you can get in touch with us. Oh, by the way, the Equitable Banking Box, Connor at 1620thezone.com there, and Josh O at 1620thezone.com as well. We say good morning to our YouTube watchers, including Star Wars Fiend, who's just lighting us up with comments this morning. It's fantastic. Also, was glad to see in the comments that people enjoyed the Guys Naming Dudes segment. We were at one point going to bake that into the show and say, we're doing Guys Naming Dudes, but we didn't know how to do it like organically.
Yeah.
So I think it's better when it just comes up.
Yeah, we didn't
like,
know,
let's just name some guys.
We didn't know how to kick it off.
Right.
Each segment. Like,
So,
okay, what do we do?
So I think it's good. It'll just come up organically from time to time, and we'll just name some guys and some dudes. We will come back. Don't forget, Allan Bell will join us at the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour. We'll start things off with my football takes from yesterday, and I'm angered. I'm not angered. I think there are some truths that people need to accept about this football team, and for some reason we can't accept them. Discuss that when we return on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's four-quarter pick'em returns. It's your chance to win $1,620. All you have to do is correctly pick 4 college or NFL games against the spread. Listen to qualify every weekday or enter online at 1620thezone.com. One lucky listener will be selected each week to make their picks live on air.
Awesome.
Go to 1620thezone.com for complete rules and contest details. It's four-quarter pick'em with 1620 The Zone.
'Tis almost the season. Get head-to-toe holiday ready at JCPenney. Whether you're in party mode, out and about, or hanging out at home, we've got the style to get your family in the spirit, all in one place. Like the dress that makes every guest list, or that cute outfit that fits perfectly in Santa's lap. Don't forget the matching PJs, a festive weekend tradition. Your favorite brands are ready to mingle and be merry all season long. Looks that wow, all priced to impress. Make your holidays count. JCPenney.
Nick Handley here for my friends at DJ's Dugout Sports Bar. Wow, this is our favorite time of the year at DJ's. There's Nebraska and college football, pro football, Creighton and Nebraska basketball, Nebraska and Creighton volleyball, UNO hockey and basketball, and more. Oh, my. Good thing DJ's Dugout is here to gather with family and friends to watch all the action. 7 metro locations, locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank, any member FDIC.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975. And now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Does eating at home have you singing the blues? Stop by Cobb's at the Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, or 72nd and Jones to grab a delicious pizza, burgers, fresh salad, and some tasty charred wings. They even offer keto crusts and an extensive variety of shareable appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Cobb's, now with 3 convenient locations to serve you. Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, and 72nd and Jones. Click cobbspizza.com to see the menu, pizza, and so much more.
Listen to the Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jays shoot around and overtime shows, the Creighton men's basketball pregame and postgame shows on 1620 The Zone. The Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jays shoot around and overtime shows are also presented by Union Bank and Trust. Hear the breakdown and coverage about your top-ranked Creighton men's basketball team before and after each game, exclusively on your home for the Creighton Blue Jays. 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone mobile app, and 1620thezone.com.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. Just think about that. That's $150, Nick, if your team wins.
Yeah, and if your team wins, and if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. It is as easy to use. That app, very easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and much more. Visit FanDuel.com. Use the promo code ZONE. That's FanDuel.com/zone and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
If you remember a few weeks ago, I sort of swore off the quarterback conversation, right? What did I say? I said they're just gonna play Heinrich Harburg until they lose, and then maybe they'll reevaluate some things. They did lose on Saturday. Nebraska, we're talking about, Nebraska football. Head coach Matt Rule, quarterback Heinrich Harburg. And I think over this period of time, it's become clear as Heinrich Harburg continues to turn over the football, like we can understand all these truths about Nebraska football, I think, individually. But then when it comes to putting it together and the combination of all these truths about your football team is what your football team ends up becoming. For some reason, we have a tough time accepting it. Nebraska just does not have the personnel to do much of anything on offense right now. They used the option as this kind of stopgap Band-Aid thing, and it worked. But guess what's happened now? People have adjusted to it. They realized that it was working, and they were like, I guess if you stop that, then the explosive plays stop coming. You realize, you notice how Billy G option pass didn't necessarily work on Saturday? And some of that, yes, is because you don't have a quarterback who can make the throws. But like, I know people always want the offense to be better. But we are now 9 games into the season. Is there a fix out there? Like, is there something that they can do at this point that they haven't tried and they haven't done with all the injuries that they've suffered on the offensive side of the ball, and where the quarterback room is, and where the running back room is, where the wide receiver room is? If you could fix one thing on this team, does it automatically make or if you can fix one thing on this offense, does it automatically make the offense better? I'm still not sure of that. You can't pinpoint one thing over another that is the problem right now. They have a pretty rough offensive line. It's patchwork together, and I think they're doing fine for the record. They have a patchwork wide receiver room that has difficulty getting open, but you see flashes from guys like Malachi Coleman and Jalen Lloyd and Doss. Like you see, and Bullock even from time to time. Bullock dropped a big pass on Saturday. And you have a quarterback room who I believe Heinrich Harburg is the lesser of all of the evils right now. And I think that's what they've decided. I'm fine with Heinrich Harburg continuing, but yet the Heinrich Harburg, like where's Jeff Sims and where's Chubba Purdy conversation continues to come up.
Just try it, Connor. Just try Chubba.
Just try it.
Just try him.
I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I'm not going to pretend that fixes anything. Right?
Everyone will understand that you're just trying something for a couple plays.
So why don't you just play it out? Like let's just play the situation out. If you're like Heinrich Harburg, you can't do it. You can't win football games with this guy. Okay, so you're in a position where you have to bench him, you have to put him to the side, and you have to bring in somebody else who actually currently sits on your roster. You can't just like pick him out, pluck him out of thin air, or like take him from Iowa Western or something like that. It's not how it works.
I mean, those players are available to you at the university.
At the end of the season.
You can have them.
After the season, though. We're talking about 2024. Sure. 2024 is a different conversation. So let's play it out. Jeff Sims comes back in. What's better? What's better about the offense? Would I like to see it? Sure. But this is the point. It doesn't necessarily matter. Still, it still doesn't matter who the quarterback is. And I think they believe that Heinrich has the ability to kind of learn on the job a little bit. And I don't think they're giving up on Heinrich for 2024 either. Like, I think they really want to develop and see what happens. And they're obviously going to go to the transfer portal and try and pick out somebody there. But then you got to figure out where Heinrich Harburg is, because he's going to have, 6, 7, 8 games under his belt as the starter. Is there much of a fix on the offense? For 2023, guys, I just don't know if it's there. The next 3 games against Maryland, Wisconsin, and Iowa are about scrapping and clawing and doing anything you possibly can to get wins. It is about getting each and every first down. It's about getting each and every yard and each and every touchdown. And I believe winning games and finding ways to win games will indeed help them in the future. And I'm enthralled. I'm super excited about the idea that Nebraska has all these young wide receivers out there and offensive linemen that figure into the plan of the future that aren't, some of the guys that are hurt right now. Like, I love that. It should make them better in the future. But they're in the bleep right now. There is no fix. And it doesn't come with a new quarterback.
There's no fix. There's no guy sitting on the couch like, oh, I watched the all 22, Connor. Like, no, you don't see something that the coaches aren't seeing. They're like, oh, if you just put this person here, like, it'll fix everything and they'll score 40 points a game. Like, they'll win every game they play.
Yeah, like Heinrich, I get it. When you look at Heinrich and you take his throws and you're like, man, Heinrich's got to be able to make that throw. Yeah,
yep.
I would love him to be able to make that throw, but he has consistently shown that at the very best, it's inconsistent. I mean, you could take Nebraska's last drive where they're going to, or I guess maybe second to last drive, they're trying to score a touchdown, and they're coming back in the game and they end up scoring a touchdown. Like, they hit Coleman up the seam and he made a great throw over the middle and he made a couple good ones to Fedoni. Like, he could do some of the things. It's just not consistent enough. This is what Nebraska has across the board on their offense right now. They have, as Matt Rule said yesterday, I want to play this audio in a second. It has to be an offense, if they want to score points, which you do, that has to either hit explosive plays or consistently convert on third down and extend drives. When they were beating people with the option there and during the 3-game winning streak, they would pop out and show something new, and here comes the belly G pass and it's over the top, right? Like, people know that that's coming now. So you are all the way in the bleep on your offense. And that leads to a conversation about the defense, which we'll talk about here in just 1 second. But let's play this piece of audio from Matt Rule yesterday. He gave us a good rundown of just sort of where the offense is right now. Number 1, Josh.
Number 1. Come on.
Yeah, the shame of it to me is that there were times where like the first drive of the second half would come out and we're running the ball and we're getting 12 yards and 15 yards. But the two things that we need in order to score with kind of where we are right now, we either need an explosive play or to convert third downs. And I know it seems pretty obvious, but those aren't always happening for us. And so, on both touchdowns, we had an explosive play that allowed us, Heinrich on a scramble, Heinrich on another scramble. But in terms of coming out and hitting a big pass or hitting a big play, didn't have enough of those in the flow of the game until the game got behind us. So, we had runs that got to the last available tackler and he made the tackle. So, they came out in the second half much more aggressive. They pressured us. But, I'll be honest with you, I say that every week. Just kind of how people play us. They pressure us and we're not quite, beating them, to the level we want. Like, came out with a reverse, it's a play away. It's about this far away from being a home run. And so we have to make some of those plays to win these games, to score more points and help the defense out, especially on a day where the defense wasn't quite at its normal self. I thought down the stretch, to be honest with you, I told the team, I said, this could have been one of those days that we show our team forever. Like, hey, this is how you handle the fourth quarter. You're down 10 points. You get these stops, you get the ball back. And, we're really, if the ball gets to the 40-yard line, we're going to kick the field goal. And I think he's going to make it. And unfortunately just couldn't get those last 15 yards. Hopefully for us, it's a real growing experience. You got those three freshman receivers out there and they're playing man and they're aggressive and they're grabbing us. And I kind of warned them during the week, it's going to be like backyard football. You're going to have to rip off. And hopefully from what was, a very disappointing game, there'll be some things that our guys take away from it. But I'll say, Steve, we had some real missed opportunities on offense that to me, you have to win games in November.
You just heard him say it. Like, that's the best case scenario. They can figure out a way to cobble together some stuff and make enough plays to win a football game. And when that little part in the middle there where he's like, this could have been a game where we could have showed our team forever and ever. You go ahead and play that picture out. He shows if they win that game, they come back and win that game, they kick a field goal, they go to overtime and win. And he shows it to his team as they're preparing for like Michigan or Ohio State or USC in like 2026. And you know how he frames it, right? He frames it as, look at this team. I know some of you guys were on this team. You were all 18 years old and you didn't have any idea what to do, but guess what? You just fought and you won, right? That would be the framing of that in the future. And that's where Nebraska's at right now. In context of what they're going to be going forward right now, it's just there's certain things that happen with freshmen where it's not consistent. There's certain things that happen with quarterbacks who have only started 5 games in their college football career that just happen. And really what it equals in all of those cases is inconsistency. It's just inconsistent across the board. So Nebraska has to find enough plays and enough drives and enough quarters where they can put it together. And just enough, just by 1 point where they can win a football game. And that's where they're at right now. For the future, they're going to find a quarterback, right? If that's developing Heinrich Harburg, if they see enough where they could be like, you know what, I think we can work with this and we could develop Heinrich Harburg going forward, then great. Maybe that's what this year will teach you. I know they're going to go into the portal on the running back room. They have to go into the portal on the running back room, right? They have to supplement and add at wide receiver. Maybe they continue to get younger at that position and bring in a whole bunch of guys there and continue to add offensive linemen that they mix in going forward. But this is part of the process, man. They are in the bleep right now. As we I want to get to a phone call here in a second. Amazing Daniel writes in on the YouTube.
Hi, Daniel.
Have you ever seen a quarterback successfully change their mechanics to the degree that Heinrich Harburg would have to change his mechanics? Before we get on it, and I get the problem with the sidearm throws and stuff like that, and I know I've kind of brushed it off before. Obviously, it's a thing. It's a problem. He lets balls sail because of his mechanics. But I think his mechanics, I don't think they're even, in my opinion, I don't think they're even at the point where they need to have the mechanics conversation with him yet, because I think really it's about him being out there and getting the experience and getting comfortable. I don't think he's comfortable. I thought by this point, he might be more comfortable than he is. It doesn't seem that way. That's for a variety of different reasons. A quarterback has to have all these other things around him that are working okay. So maybe when you get some weapons and you get some stuff around him and you get like a running game, a functional like handoff, turn around and hand it off to the running back running game that works, then maybe he looks a little bit more comfortable. But there's just so much on Heinrich Haarberg right now, right? So I don't even think they're at the point where they want to put here's what you have to do from a mechanics department. We have to revamp this conversation. I don't even think they're there yet, right? And why would you be in the middle of the season to just put another thing on his plate where Nebraska's already putting a ton on their quarterback, right? So to answer Daniel's question, probably not. Probably not.
I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is that one year that Brian Daboll was coaching Josh Allen and he didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And then Daboll left and he went to turn the ball over.
But that means that wasn't even a mechanics thing.
Yeah.
That's just the operation around him being better, and putting your quarterback in good positions. I mean, Nebraska's doesn't have an opportunity right now to put their quarterback in good positions because of what's going on around him. There's just not a lot there. Right. So, I mean, once again, we're talking about this year versus the future of Nebraska football. This year, it is simply every yard and every play and everything you do. It has to, you want it to result in a positive. And then you can think about the big picture after the season, because really this is just about, you've made it this far. You've won 5 games. You got to get to a bowl game now. Right.
Yeah, you can't end it on the cusp.
And I'm telling you, development will, like, I brought up the question earlier in the year, like, what are they doing right now that can transfer over to the future, just as far as like offensive principles and stuff like that, or players? Well, it turns out there's plenty of players that are going to be part of their future, which is great. They're just inconsistent right now. But winning games and being out there is developing. Right. Even though this is a complete shell of the offense that you're going to see going forward. And hell, maybe a completely different offense in general. I think they're just trying to cobble stuff together at this point. So what does it mean for the long term? Hopefully a lot individually. Hopefully not so much as far as the operation is concerned. To the phones, the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Here is Eric. Eric, what's up?
So I just have a comment about this, and Minnesota kind of gave a blueprint for how, with a team that really can't throw it that well, a blueprint for how to beat Michigan State. They took a 5th-string running back who was a converted safety, and they gave him 40 carries in a game, and they just wore them down. And Michigan State was not stoning Nebraska's running game.
No.
But for whatever reason, they don't allow any of the backs to get any rhythm at all. It's just if one of them busts off a 10-yard run and comes back with a 5-yard run, they're subbed out. That is something they could change right there. And I'm not saying you have to run it 70 times a game. You got to be able to throw the ball. But a more consistent, like, stay with it. If Perks keep going at it until they stop it. And they don't seem to do that. And sometimes it seems like with Satterfield, he's calling plays where, like, I don't know, he doesn't have Spencer Rattler, but sometimes it seems like he's calling plays and he thinks he still has him.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's things like that they could do to help Haarberg, like in that handoff run game, and things Haarberg could do better in the option. The option's easy to stop if you don't force, when he's got the ball in his hands, if he's not forcing that end to make a decision, if he's just pitching it 3 yards before he ever gets there, it's not going to work when they start loading up one side of the field. So there are things they could do and they could teach them, I feel like, right now to have a better chance at winning games.
Yeah, Eric, and thanks for the call. I appreciate it. So the running back rotation thing is, I'll agree with you. It is super odd. How they don't, and I've always said all along, like if you want to be the team that rushes for 75 yards in the fourth quarter and gets it to the fourth quarter and wins it, then okay, well you You got to do the work that gets you there, which means run it and maybe punt it a few times and hope that those runs sort of gash out in the fourth quarter. And they seem to be taking a little bit of a different approach at this point, which is they feel like they are more likely to, instead of getting to that point and putting their defense in such bad positions and hopefully, not going into the fourth quarter like down 10-0 or 17-0 or something like that, that they feel like they can, in the meantime, hit a big play over the top before that. And if they don't do that, then they're in big trouble, obviously. Eric, I agree that there are especially that conventional run game part. I think they could probably do a little bit better of a job. But you made the comparison to Minnesota, and here's the thing about Minnesota. PJ Fleck's in his 7th year. Right? And I'm not making an excuse as far as like year 1 versus year 7, but you know what being in year 7 means. You have the offensive line, right? Like you got that.
You got your guy.
It works. You got a couple wide receivers who can make plays. You got they have their tight end one of their wide receivers is in like his 7th year in the program, right? So like the less experienced players you have, the less consistent it gets. And while I'm with you, and I've seen, we've seen areas where those runs, and Emmett Johnson, I think, is doing a pretty good job, and Grant, I think, is doing a pretty good job in the conventional run game. And as much as I would love to see it more, there must be something in there where they just don't feel like they can really push it across. And like he said yesterday, they're in a spot right now where the teams that they're playing are just, it's one-on-one. And guess what? Michigan State had some pretty good players on the edge. And their wide receiver killed Nebraska. And, their corners on the edge did a pretty good job against Nebraska's receivers who had a really difficult time and they're young, right? In the first place. So I'm with you, Eric. Like there's probably a couple things out there, but ultimately, what does it do in the long run? Or not, I shouldn't say the long run. Like, what does it do for the big picture of this offense in 2023? What does it do for them? Would I like to find out? Sure. And guess what? I do think they probably have to pivot now in the last 3 games a little bit because the option stuff has been spoiled.
Film's out on that. People kind of seem to know you're going to run it, especially
they're not good at it. Like, they're not. They just made the option part of the playbook up to fit Heinrich Harburg, right?
To appease the Nebraska fans, according to Matt Rule in one press conference, which I'm sure if he could have back, he would have worded slightly different.
They realized that people liked it when Nebraska ran the option, but like they have to sort of pivot a little bit over these last 3 games, and they have to figure out something else that works because the option, it's not detailed enough to run it like Nebraska was doing in the 90s. It's not ingrained into what they're doing enough, right? So, and the coaches don't know it, and credit to them, they figured out something that works on the fly, but I think they have to do it again. They have to figure out something else that works on the fly. And
another
maybe
tweak, another wrinkle,
and I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of, what thing you're going to be doing. Maybe it's not a play. Maybe it's not a style of offense. And maybe it's as simple as like, all right, well, we have to run our regular offense and we have to do what we do and we have to let our players go make plays. Maybe it's just trust in that. But for the next 3, it's about figuring it out any way you can, whatever they do on offense. And like you could make the case that this offense would actually be better suited now if you want to purely get yards and points, right? Nebraska can. I'm telling you, with this with these players, they can get yards and points if the goal is yards and points. They could throw it around the yard. They could Mark Whipple it from last year. They could. I mean, look at what Heinrich does in the last 2 minutes when they're down. He throws it around, right? They're going to throw 3 picks. They're going to throw 3 or 4 picks, and they're going to have a tough time in the red zone, right? But that'll get them 25, 30 points a game. Is that option out there? No, because that maximizes possessions in a football game, puts your defense in horrible spots, and Nebraska would lose every game if they did that. The goal is not yards and points. The goal is not offensive success. The goal is winning. Winning, right? So is the offense like beyond anemic right now and still turnover prone, even when you're trying to do like this shell version? Of course it is, but it's setting up for the defense to have the say in what you do. And that brings us to the defense. We only got a brief second for this, but I want to talk about it a little bit more later. Like, they're going to have to be on it, man. It cannot be like it was Saturday. The good thing about it is you can look at these games individually of the next three and you know exactly what you need to do. The defense has to be really, really good in the final three. Look at Iowa.
Elite.
Look at Iowa. Obviously, Nebraska's offense has to not turn the football over that day, but we know they're going to because that's what they do.
Baked into the cake.
They got to be on it. Nothing, no big plays, nothing that flips the field, nothing that gets them into field goal range. Like, that is what this season is on. So as much as I'd love to talk about the offensive problems that need to be fixed, and they do, Nebraska's success over the next three games, Nebraska's success this season will be on their defense. And if their offense just happens to give them a game where they only turn it over 2 times instead of 70 or whatever it is, then great. That should help the defense out. But that's what it's on, man. It's on that side. We'll get to Rule's quote on that a little bit later. Also, Matt Rule on officiating. As well. Which I have some commentary on that. From this past weekend, of course, as well.
Interesting.
We're back with Allan Bell. Talk some NFL. I did get your questions here. We can get to those a little bit later in the show, too. More to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
on 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Put your coffee department in good hands with Host Coffee Service, providing direct delivery and loaned coffee equipment with service programs. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
This week at Target, you'll find different early Black Friday deals. Get fun deals on the latest tech, toys, and video games. Plus smart deals on small appliances, floor care, and so much more. At Target, you'll discover different early Black Friday deals each week. And get what you need for the holidays fast with free drive up or score free shipping when you spend $35 or use your red card at Target.com. Get low prices and early Black Friday deals only at Target. Exclusions apply.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is 2 $25 vouchers for just $25 to 72 Table and Tap. Try one of the 20 beers on tap or any of the 150 whiskeys. They also serve salads, tasty bar food, flatbreads, pizzas, sandwiches, and desserts. 72 Table and Tap. Eat, drink, gather, and repeat.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Allan Bell. Sportsline. on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we're joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by Allan Bell of Sportsline. AB, hello. How are you?
Well, hello. Fantastic, man. You doing all right?
I'm doing great. Hey, when's the last time you had a Big Mac?
Ooh, probably about a month ago.
What'd you think?
Solid. Like it's the one thing that remains consistent. Now, the tough part is that you have to find people who actually care, to like make it somewhat decent. But
Yeah.
if you could get that, oh yeah, good. And here is your veteran move. Next time you get a Big Mac, buy a McChicken sandwich. Throw all that stuff away. Just take the chicken patty and put it on the Big Mac.
Oh,
phenomenal.
Yeah, what do they call? Can't you order it that way? Isn't it called like the McMonster or something like that? I'm pretty sure you can order that.
I am fascinated with all these like secret menu items that places have. Yeah, I'm fascinated.
I don't think I've ever ordered a secret menu item, but I like hearing about all the options that people have. Usually they just don't sound all that enticing to me because it's like burger combined with chicken, like that one just was, which I don't know. It doesn't, like, I'd rather just have the chicken.
Well, here's the thing too. If it were good, it would be on the menu.
Exactly. I'm just saying, I had a Big Mac for the first time in like a long time yesterday, and they're talking about this thing where they put more Big Mac sauce on it, and they indeed put more Big Mac sauce on it, which is
that
nice.
good or bad?
I think it was a good thing, but it was way messier than I recall it being.
Yeah, they could get messy, especially with the shredded lettuce. Yeah,
The lettuce was everywhere, and then you have
Yeah.
the middle bun, which really is pretty unnecessary. I don't need more bun in there.
Yeah, see, once you start putting all that sauce with the lettuce, I mean, dude, that's like hand soap on a gold tooth. It's sliding everywhere.
It really is. Okay, I just wanted to bounce that idea off you because I hadn't dove down the Big Mac.
I'm gonna go try one. I'm gonna go get one today. I'll send a picture over to you on Twitter.
Do it.
I gotta see what it's like with this extra sauce.
Yeah, they have a deal here where if Nebraska gets a sack on Saturday, then you get a buy one get one free Big Mac on Monday.
Nice, that's a good deal.
Yeah, Big Mac sacks. So it's what they call it. It's a great deal. Okay, so we're going to talk about NFL quarterbacks a little bit later in the show. I want to bounce this off you first. Obviously, we all watched what C.J. Stroud did on Sunday. Who, I mean, he was my favorite guy coming out, so I feel like I'm vindicated for him having a successful start to his career here. But when I was going through the list of names in the NFL and quarterbacks, like we have our sort of like elite tier, however many guys you want to put in there, whatever. But there's probably 7 to 10 guys who are like, yes, we could definitely win with them. How close is CJ Stroud right now? What, 10 games into his NFL career to cracking that list already?
Dude, he's getting there. And like, remember, this team isn't any good.
Right.
Like, they had the number 1 overall pick for a reason, right? Like, what he's doing, man, is amazing. Like, he's aggressive. He plays aggressive but smart. You know what I mean? Like, he's not just out here like making a bunch of mistakes. He's super impressive, man. Like, there's not enough positive things that I could say about him. Like, think about if you planted him on a different team, right? Like, what if you put him on the 49ers? Like,
right.
That would be ungodly. You know what I mean? Like, it'd just be unbelievable. So, yeah, dude, like, answer the question. He's getting there, man.
So you have him, and so let's just take 3 guys that were drafted in this past year's draft. Stroud, and then you have Bryce Young, and you mentioned aggressive with CJ Stroud, and you're like, Bryce Young, that is the opposite of that. He's very not aggressive. And then you have Will Levis, who is incredibly aggressive because he thinks that he's the best player of all time and he can make any throw. and he ends up, watching that Steelers game is like, yeah, he should have thrown like 6 picks on that last drive, but he only ended up throwing the 1. So CJ Stroud has like the best of both of those things, it seems.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And look, Anthony Richardson he's going to get hurt every year.
Right.
Like, I feel bad because like he's good. You know what I mean? But like he's just gonna he runs too much, and there's going to be problems there. But yeah, like with Bryce Young, he's so small. Like I get scared every time. Like, can you imagine like T.J. Watt? Like getting after him, like he might break him in half.
Right.
And then Will Levis. I mean, he reminds me of a young Phillip Rivers. You know what I mean? Like, remember Phillip Rivers?
Gunslinger.
Young. Gunslinger. He's yelling at Jay Cutler like on the field to come fight him. Like that's kind of like Will Levis. I'll give Levis credit too. This Titans offensive line could be the worst in the NFL, and their wide receivers aren't much better. Like outside of DeAndre Hopkins, the kid's playing good. He's going to make a bunch of mistakes though, like you said. Like there's a line between aggressive and you've just gone cowboy out here. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But yeah, I mean Stroud is just incredible.
So as I always bounce my NFL quarterback stuff off of Mike Schaefer, a guy that you know well, and I guess you are colleagues. So then we went back and forth with a whole bunch of texts last night, and we sort of came to the conclusion that the middle tier of quarterbacks in the NFL has basically just eroded. Either guys we have decided, like guys that used to be in the middle, maybe like Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins was certainly there, and now he's hurt. Dak, we now know it's like, I don't know if he's bottom tier. You could probably win some football games with him, but you know that you're not going to get what you want out of it. And then you guys have guys like Derek Carr, and I don't know if like Gardner Minshew would be in that category. But
to jump in, like I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like those guys, like the Carrs and people like that, are going to get elevated up as we go because we're in what? We're going into week 10 right now, right? Look across the league at how many teams are starting backup quarterbacks. Like dudes you've never heard of. There's a significant amount of those guys.
Shout out to Creighton Toon.
Yeah, right. Like Tyson Badgett, over in Chicago, right? It's fascinating, man. Like quarterbacks and offensive line, and look at it in college. Like especially offensive line, like the supply demand there is crazy imbalanced.
Yes.
Like there are no offensive linemen to be had. That's why they're all getting paid massive amounts of money because there's no one to be had.
Yeah, and we have all these NFL teams that are just like, okay, well, we either have a mid-tier quarterback who we know what we can get, or we have a bottom and we're trying to make something out of nothing, or we have a bottom-tier guy and we're just waiting for the next guy to come along. That's like, I don't know, Allan, like 60% of the NFL or in either one of those two categories right now. It's and there's and what are the quarterbacks who are coming out this year? Like, what are they going to be? And there's only going to be 3 or 4 of those who are going to amount to anything, if that. So yes, supply and demand is
like
just not
counting
even.
on Bo Nix. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're getting fired up for that. But look at the Titans. I mean, they're legitimately drafting a quarterback at this point every year, trying to find a guy like Malik Willis, Will Levis. They're trading up to do it. Yeah, I mean, you're spot on with that.
But like, so the thing is, like, I don't fault the teams for doing it. If you know what you have and it's not good, then the worst place you want to be is in that middle of we can win games, maybe get to the playoffs and do nothing beyond that.
The 49ers are going to prove your theory correct. Like, you can have the best defense on the planet and the best running back on the planet. If you don't have a quarterback, good luck.
Right.
Like, what have they lost 3 straight now?
I know. And like, I thought, Brock Purdy had sort of elevated to the point where maybe he was, one of the guys that you can win with, but I don't know. I don't want to count the 49ers out, but they don't look like a team right now who's going to win the Super Bowl.
No, like, I mean, you have to have it, dude. You have to have it. You just do. That's why, people can say whatever they want. They're like, I can't believe Patrick Mahomes signed a $900 million deal. Yeah, that's a discount.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's worth every penny of that.
Right. And then, so and then we have an expanded playoff where, just to continue to go down this line, we have more teams that make the playoffs now. And half of them are bad and don't have quarterbacks. it's like, all right, no wonder why we're going to get a quarterback versus quarterback Super Bowl every single time, and probably quarterback versus quarterback championship game, AFC NFC championship game every single time, because that's what it distills down to in the NFL right now.
Oh yeah. Like when we're getting into like week 18 and we see Titans, Jaguars, winner gets in game. Like, that's not good for anybody. Yeah.
Right.
Like,
What does that
that's
do?
not going to be good. I'll say this. And I was talking a little bit about this on Twitter yesterday. Like, look across the league at home versus away. And I know that obviously playing at home, always in football, has mattered. And if you look at it from a betting perspective, the old hat was it was worth 3 points. It's now really worth about 1.5. But in the NFL now, like this year, look at these points per game that these teams are having. Like, pretty much the Chiefs are the only team that's kind of balanced there.
Yep.
The Dolphins is insane. It's like when the Dolphins play at home, they average like 41 points a game. On the road, 16. Right? Like, you're seeing a lot of teams that are like that, man. So, long story short, like, I think that this year especially, home field advantage is going to be massively important for teams that are actually looking to get to the Super Bowl.
Okay, let me ask you again, just a couple teams here. I ask you about them every single week, and we're going to continue the streak. The Bills.
Yep.
The Bills are now 5-4. They are, I believe, if you look at the playoffs, they are currently on the outside looking in of the AFC playoffs. If I wanted to just pull that up real quick. They're currently the 8th seed in the AFC, which is not a seed at all. Only 7 make it. Are we not talking about them enough as a team that could miss the playoffs? And they do have one of those guys, but he's awfully turnover prone.
Well, here's the weird part. All right, so I mean, you're right. And number one, I'll give them credit on this. They are severely banged up on defense. Like, it's significant, right? Number two, entering this past week in the NFL, Josh Allen had the highest season completion percentage across the NFL. Like, he's not playing terrible. Like, he's completing a ton of passes, but you're right. The turnovers, I mean, he's averaging 1 a game. You know what I mean? If not more. But look, I think that they're going to be there in the end, especially to get healthy. But yeah, man, like they're not scoring enough points, and that team is built to they have to do it. Like, their defense right now and for a while is not going to be what gets them wins. So if they're not scoring 37, 38 points, it could be tough, man.
So have we in the AFC distilled it down to? I mean, there's other teams that are gonna, have a say in this before the end of the season, but everybody's played 8 or 9 games at this point. We're going into week 10. Have we distilled it down to like the Chiefs and the Ravens? And are those the 2 teams right now in the AFC?
Pretty much. Look at the AFC North. All 4 teams would make the playoffs right now.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I mean, okay. So you have to probably include the Bengals in that conversation, right? Because of the quarterback that they have. But
they're playing better. But here's the other thing, though. Like, you're seeing teams now. Like, I also think that we're going to see a season broken down into 4 mini seasons. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, the Bengals are a perfect example. They start the season 1-3, just awful, right? Now they go and they win 3 straight, or maybe 4 straight now.
4 in
right?
a row.
Like,
yeah.
4 in a row. Yeah. Like, looking good, but that razor's edge is thin, and one little thing. Say they lose a tackle or something, and then they lose 4 straight. Like, I think that your theory that you just said at the beginning is kind of true. Like, I trust the Chiefs. I trust the Eagles. Outside of that, dude, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know.
I wonder what you could get right now on with our friends from the FanDuel Sportsbook for betting the Chiefs and the Eagles to end up in the Super Bowl again together.
Right? Like, I mean, you said the Ravens too, and the Ravens are playing phenomenal. And if nobody's paying attention, Lamar Jackson, go look at his completion percentage this year. Right? We just talked about Josh Allen. Yeah, both of these dudes are above 70%. Lamar Jackson is he is not missing passes at all. It's insane, man. But they're doing this at home. I'll give them. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I don't know how fully I believe in it yet. But there's nothing negative I could say. They're just pounding folks right now.
So plus 900 is the answer. If you wanted to bet Chiefs and Eagles to match up in the Super Bowl, you can get plus 900 right now. I would assume that that's the best odds or the worst odds.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's worth the price of admission right now.
Yeah.
Like, plus 900, like, put $10 on it or whatever.
Sure.
Like, that's like, I am absolutely in fact, I'm going to bet that as soon as the show ends, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
just on a quick scroll, I think that those are like far and away the worst, like the lowest number that you could find out there right now.
I thought Titans Seahawks myself, but
Right, man. There's a gap between those elite teams and basically everybody else.
Yeah.
All right, AB. Appreciate it. Thanks for the fast food takes and of course the football takes as well. Talk to you next time.
Buddy, I appreciate you, man. Y'all be good. Take care.
Allan Bell of Sportsline. Check him out there. Plenty of nuggets coming along in the Early Edge podcast, which he is on just about every single day of the week. Plus 900, Josh, if you'd like to bet on the Eagles and the Chiefs to meet in the Super Bowl.
God, why would you not bet on that?
What's
stopping that matchup from happening?
The Bengals.
Yeah.
And maybe the Ravens. And I don't know. Are we settled on the Eagles in the NFC right now? That stuff could happen. I mean, we didn't see the 49ers having this slide now.
Let me see the 49ers healthy and I'll talk to you. But yeah, Eagles.
So here's the Chiefs options, by the way. Like they have the Chiefs versus every NFC team. Let's see. Who else? Chiefs Cowboys, 1,900. Chiefs Lions, 2,200.
Nope.
Not interested?
Nope.
Chiefs Niners, 1,100. That's
do
right.
Do a sprinkle.
That's right. So just do both.
Yeah.
Just do Chiefs against somebody.
If you hit it, it'll pay for both.
So Baltimore, you could do Baltimore and let's see, Baltimore and Philly. Give me Baltimore and Philly. Baltimore and Philly plus 1,500. Baltimore and San Francisco plus 1,800. Who was the other one that I mentioned? Cincinnati. Cincinnati and Philly plus 2,400. Cincinnati and San Francisco plus 3,000.
Wow.
But we may be distilled down to like 6 teams that could possibly make the Super Bowl. Right now.
I was sitting here Sunday night and I said, wow, I think a lot less of a lot of teams after Sunday's game.
Oh, we're definitely in process of elimination. Yeah, we're in the heart of it. We've eliminated about half the league at least.
I was like, oh, okay, I'm out on a lot of teams now all of a sudden.
Josh, the out on teams guy, will have his bottom 5 later on in the show. We'll also declare some quarterbacks that we are out on as well. But he has the odd news when we return on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
I think one takeaway from this that we can all deduce, this guy is not with CMU. If this would have been one of their people, he would have said that. That's actually Bob. Bob just happens to look like the sign stealer.
They would have said that in the statement yesterday put out by the athletic director. So it's obvious they're not sure exactly who he is.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday afternoon with a high today, warm of 66 degrees in Omaha. Expect winds out of the southeast up to 20 miles an hour to become a bit calmer here tonight. Mostly to partly cloudy skies overnight, mild with a low of 49 and a chance for patchy fog by tomorrow morning. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
ABC tomorrow. It's country music's biggest night. The CMA Awards, live. With performances by Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, and K. Michelle. Old Dominion with Megan Maroney, Carly Pierce featuring Chris Stapleton, Tanya Tucker with Little Big Town, and more.
The best in country music!
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host
The CMA Awards live.
Tomorrow, 8/7 Central on ABC, and stream next day on Hulu.
Welcome to the After Hours Lounge on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Allen and former Nebraska quarterback Adrian Martinez.
You know that the After Hours Lounge is open from 6 to 8 p.m. when the sports schedule allows.
Did you know I'm stopping by from time to time?
When Rob Love's off for the night, Adrian's going to be in breaking down Nebraska football, what he's doing in the NFL, and we still will be covering high school sports.
Who knows what we'll get into? Maybe you'll get to ask me some questions, so stop by from 6 to 8 p.m. and check out the show.
Catch After Hours 6 to 8 Monday through Friday, or as the sports schedule allows on 1620 The Zone.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks. Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here with Dr. Lance Kugler of Kugler Vision. You know, it's been 5.5 years since I had my procedure done at Kugler Vision. I remember going in for the eye analysis and finding out, hey, there's something other than LASIK.
Well, I think it's important to have a full analysis of the eye so that you can make a good recommendation. A lot of the patients that we see have been told over the years, sometimes a long time ago or sometimes more recently, that there isn't an option for them. And I think that's just because they haven't had as in-depth of analysis as they need to know for sure what their options are.
And I think one of the coolest things about that entire process was how comfortable I felt. And I know as I've talked to other people who had procedures done, they said the same thing, whether it was the consultation, whether it was the day of the procedure, all of those questions were answered. And like there was genuine care for me as an individual person.
We all have the same goal. We want you to see as well as you possibly can.
Schedule an eye analysis today, 402-558-2211, or you can visit their website, KuglerVision.com.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Oh, Josh, I've missed the odd news. Hasn't been in my life the last couple days. I haven't heard about a truck spill in over a week.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we had one that I almost used yesterday. It was logs, but it was not a logging truck.
Oh, so not Final Destination?
Right.
Gotcha.
But alas, no truck spills today.
That's all right.
Did you watch the Manning cast last night?
No.
Well, last night was a perfect Manning cast night.
It really was, because I ended up turning off most of the end to flip over to the Kevin Kugler special on BTN.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game to begin with, and then it became a blowout featuring a team that has an anemic offense, which is a perfect, like, oh my gosh, let's watch the Manning brothers just like
fill air.
Like they, like you can tell it makes them physically uncomfortable when a quarterback can't play football.
They hate bad quarterback play.
They do. But we tend to focus on the guests that the Manning cast welcomes on. They had former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger
Oh, nice.
on last night.
The Governor.
Yes. He brought his donkey.
Oh, I knew that he had a donkey.
Yeah, he had a donkey, and he brought it on, and
This is my donkey.
and then the donkey knocked off the Wi-Fi, or like
The
like
donkey kicked the Wi-Fi off?
Well, that was the bit that like Arnold had a donkey on set with him, and then it's not set; it's just his living room.
Yeah.
And then they came back from break and Arnold wasn't there anymore. And they were like, yeah, the donkey, like, took
Sorry
number
about the
2 on the
donkey.
Wi-Fi.
Sorry about the donkey. It's just my donkey.
Let's see.
I'll work on that.
Schwarzenegger began to pitch his book. The only problem is that it completely took away from what was going on in the game. He just rambled on and on and on about his book. And while that is the reason he's there, the reason that the broadcast exists is to, watch the football game. Once Schwarzenegger was done, Peyton hilariously stated that Zach Wilson should get a copy of the book, which is about attaining success. I think those are great lessons. I think Zach Wilson may want a copy of that book after that fumble right there, which, everyone yucked it up. Eli Manning, he's the jokester of the broadcast. He said that the donkey must have ate the heck out of the Wi-Fi. That was how they phrased it.
Yeah, I mean, they have made a living, those two, off of just being themselves, which, I mean, that's the American dream, really.
Sure.
They were really good at football, and that was a good start to their careers, but they could just Eli especially, right? Because Peyton actually has a personality. Eli doesn't.
No.
I've never seen a person have so much success based off of not having a personality.
So much success in television.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really great. But I love it. I eat it up.
We go to outer space. for our
Josh
next
Dobbs?
story. No, not the Pastronaut. According to NASA, Saturn's rings are disappearing.
What? How would we know which one's Saturn?
Right. NASA reports that the gas planet's signature interstellar hula hoops are going to vanish over the next 18 months. Thankfully, it is just an optical illusion, though.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come March of 2025, Saturn's rings, which extend 87,000 miles, or the equivalent of 30 Earths, will be rendered invisible from our terrestrial perspective due to the planet's tilt. Every 13.5 to 15.7 years, this happens, apparently.
So they will come back.
They will come back.
Thank God.
Because despite the ring's vastness, they measure as thin as 300 feet in most places, which is why, according to the way they tilt, you might not be able to see them.
So Gen Alpha will not be growing up thinking that Saturn does not have rings.
I imagine their elders will. It's an interesting question you posed. I imagine their elders will tell them about Saturn's
No.
rings.
Saturn's got rings. Back in my day, Saturn had rings.
I did my own research.
And Pluto was a planet.
I'm looking at them right now. I don't see no rings.
Ring culture is really taking a step up.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Josh.
I'm glad I did this.
I'm back.
I was kind of like, I don't know if this is funny enough. Hey, no, you spun gold into that one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Finally,
as I do,
a moment from last night in sports that I'm sure made Connor sit on his couch and go, "Wow, baseball!
Wow."
I guess this was Sunday night. Excuse me. Did you watch the Japanese World Series?
No.
Oh, Connor.
I was sitting on my couch saying, "Wow, basketball" last night.
Well,
James Madison.
Sunday night, it was Game 7 of the Japanese World Series
between
the Oryx Buffaloes and the Hanshin Tigers. Hanshin Tigers, one of the most like that's America's team to Japan, like Japan's team. They won their first World Series since 1985, and they broke a curse. Connor, one of sports' greatest curses has been lifted. The curse of the Colonel. Now, the legend says that the Tigers of Hanshin would never win another Japan World Series after fans threw a plastic statue of Colonel Sanders. Yes, it is the curse of that Colonel. Snatched from a nearby KFC restaurant, and they threw it into the river the last time they won a title.
That is amazing.
Tigers fan who attends about 80 or 90 games a season, as well as the team's training camps, told a local news outlet that winning a title felt like a dream. It had been 38 years since the last time. And fans remembered, the elderly Tigers fans who have since passed on since the last time. The Tigers won it all. So what did they do to celebrate? They all jumped in that river that they threw the
I thought they were going to get more
Sanders.
Colonel Sanders.
Well, I imagine the KFCs were heavily populated, but I don't have that info in this news.
They are showing the highlight of Arnold Schwarzenegger feeding his donkey granola bars on the television right now, and I am enthralled.
Oh, yeah. It's great television. And then they came back from break, and he just wasn't there.
Incredible stuff. Also, congratulations to the Tigers.
Hanshin Tigers, world champs.
Hanshin Tigers. Can you name more Japanese League baseball teams or NHL coaches?
Oh, wow. A great question. I'm going to guess NHL coaches.
Now, when come on, you don't know the Yomiuri Giants?
I do know the Yomiuri Giants.
The I just had another one on the top of my head. Oh, the Cebu Lions. You don't know the Cebu Lions?
I know the Samsung Lions from the Korean Baseball League.
Yeah, that's different.
Yep,
that's different. These might ring a bell. Okay, let me read these.
I'm sure there will be like 2 or 3 that I'm like, oh, okay, I did know that one.
The Central League is made up of the Tokyo Swallows, the Yokohama Bay Stars, the Hanshin Tigers, the Yomiuri Giants, the Hiroshima Carp, the Shinichi Dragons, and then I've heard of all of those. The Pacific League is home of the Oryx Buffaloes, I'm scared I might say a bad word if I say that, the Hawks,
Atlanta,
the Saitama, the Cebu Lions, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. You've heard of that.
That does ring a bell.
Heard of that. The Chiba Marines, the Nippon Ham Fighters.
Yep, I know that one.
Yeah. So I think you'd get more than that.
Okay.
NHL coaches eventually if you just tried hard enough. Thank you for our lesson on the Japanese League baseball.
Yeah. Happy to report that to everyone. Curse of the Colonel broken.
That is the odd news. Thank you, Josh. We'll come back. The noon hour is coming up. Scott Strohmeier will join us at the bottom of the hour. We'll talk about defense and other things. We got basketball season opening up tonight. Wanting to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, as the weather gets cooler, the NFL offers stay hot on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. $150 if your team wins a singular money line bet. So if you think about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The time is now. Pick a money line winner for this week anywhere across the board. It's $150 in bonus bets. All they have to do is win. Pick a big favorite for this weekend. Or there's, of course, the other options like the regular old point spreads and player props, anytime touchdown scorers, overs and unders, so much more. You could bet that Chiefs-Eagles matchup in the Super Bowl plus 900 right now at FanDuel.com/Happer. You kick off the NFL season the right way with FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame moneyline wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Our Cox mobile plans are like a band. The more people you add, the better it sounds. So, add more lines to save more. Pay as low as $30 per line when you add 4 or more gig unlimited lines. It's easy. I like the sound of that. Visit cox.com/mobile. 4 lines required for $30 per line. Price max of 5 lines. Prices exclude taxes, device activation, and other fees and charges, which are subject to change. Cox postpaid internet required. Other restrictions apply.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
With over 45 years in business, Thrasher Foundation Repair makes stressful home repairs super easy with precise repair and genuine care. From basement waterproofing to foundation repair, concrete restoration, and crawl space repair, you can count on Thrasher to handle it with ease and expertise. Schedule a free estimate today at gothrasher.com.
Precise repair, genuine care. Thrasher.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Attention migratory bird hunters, it's time to get HIP, your new harvest information program number, that is. It's required by law and is done through the permit system on the Game and Parks website at outdoornebraska.gov. That's outdoornebraska.gov. I wish you a safe hunting season. Say it's the time of year to catch big fish in Nebraska. Zzz, bloop, and go visit a state parkland. This time of year, larger game fish are putting on the fat reserves for the upcoming cold weather season, and they're more apt to be caught. And Nebraska's 76 area state parklands, the grounds to those remain open for all kinds of outdoor recreation, including camping. So come see us. That'll wrap it up for now. Thank you for listening. I'm Greg Wagner with the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission.
Get a full breakdown after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction. And this week only, hear Big Red Overreaction with Nick Hanley and yours truly, Josh Peterson, on News Talk 1290 Coil. Big Red Overreaction is presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by J. Stinnett Contracting, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, Big Red Overreaction, this week only on News Talk 1290 Coil.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Nebraska will be shooting for bowl eligibility this weekend on the Peacock. And I don't know, I mean, if that's not worth your $5.99 subscription, I don't know what is.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, there'll be a night game on regular old NBC, I believe, right?
Correct.
Against Wisconsin. Night game in November, Josh?
How's that possible?
Doesn't happen very much. Nebraska had, we ask how it's possible, but Nebraska has played a few over the years. I remember people forget about the 2015 Michigan State game where Nebraska won and Brandon Riley didn't, well, he stepped out of bounds, but it doesn't matter because they won. There was the 2016 Minnesota game where Tommy Armstrong ran into the end zone, but also like ripped his hamstring into shreds as he was running into the end zone. And
that sounds unpleasant.
They like carried him off of the field. And that was like basically the last time we ever saw Tommy Armstrong. And Nebraska, you know, had to deal with like Riker Fife in a bowl game after that and Zach Darlington. And yeah, there's the whole thing that year. And then there was last year at Wisconsin.
So it happens.
So it does happen. It is allowed. There are certain schools who say, no, thank you. We don't do that.
Scared.
Yeah. And
Cowardice.
those schools are under investigation for things right now.
Interesting. It's almost like you can't see someone's signs in the dark.
That's pretty funny. I saw the conversion chart was making the rounds today. Somebody actually found what the signs meant.
Yes.
Yeah. It's great.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah. This is a significant. Yeah. There is no way that Jim Harbaugh did not know about that, by the way. But here's the transition I was going to make, Josh. Let me know if you're impressed. Okay. So Nebraska is going to shoot for bowl eligibility this week. And if they don't win, they'll shoot for bowl eligibility next week. If they don't win that, they'll shoot for it the week after that against Iowa on Black Friday. But they could have already been there if replay would have worked correctly.
Oh.
/and/or if a team didn't scout them. Here's Matt Rule yesterday.
Oh, just a second. Just a stall for me.
Matt, we're going to play a clip from Matt Rule yesterday, who said it was an odd week to talk about officiating. Because, I mean, look, and by the way, we don't, once again, part 7,000, we do not understand nuance at all. Everything has to be one way or the other for some reason. So I can't go on Twitter, and I am just me, right? I'm just a guy who's sitting in this chair. I have nothing to do with the football team. I'm just a guy who's paid to comment on the football team sometimes. And yet I am not allowed to comment on bad officiating during games because for some reason I am not allowed to make excuses for the football team that we all agree isn't very good. Yes, we all know this. They aren't very good. And so their margin for error is so small going into every single game. And for some reason, we're still not allowed to comment on the poor officiating on Saturday. That doesn't make any sense to me, Josh. I don't get it personally. But there was like 7 bad things in that game. And a lot of things that, frankly, change the game in various different ways.
I think that's fair.
And yet I can't talk about it on Twitter for some reason.
No. Making excuses.
So there was the touchdown that wasn't a touchdown that was clearly, replay gets that right 100%. And so this is Matt Rule's point. It's a weird week to talk about officiating because I hate instant replay. So that's being brought to instant replay, and the officials concede that they screwed up on the no pass interference call, and the ball hits the ground, and that's a 100% of the time thing because it's by the letter of the law. We always do instant replay by the letter of the law. And for some reason on this one, we didn't.
And remember, thanks to Iowa, Minnesota, we now know you can, if you replay a play, you can find anything.
Yeah.
You can just, whatever you
want.
Yep.
It's like, oh, there was a penalty. Maybe we should have gone and called that.
We should call that.
So my guess would be that had maybe something to do with it. Because that seemed inconclusive that the football was rolling around on the ground and it was loose. We have no idea what a catch is for that reason. Like in a normal world, in a normal society where that hasn't been overturned 7,000 times already, I'm okay with that standing as a touchdown. But we have already set the precedent that is not a touchdown in our football world 1 billion times over and over again. We've already set the precedent that is not a touchdown. So it shouldn't have been a touchdown on Saturday. There was the one that I was most mad about was on the final drive where Malachi Coleman catches it 3 yards over the first down line. And for some reason, he's called 2 yards short. They missed the spot by like 3 yards at least. And then so that allows the clock to continue to run. That eventually led to the final thing, which was the pass there was a pass and not a fumble. And it ended up running out the clock. And and then there was the obvious face mask and the obvious missed PI call on Malachi Coleman. So yes, those things are important in the context of a football game that has such a small margin for error between two teams that are just fighting for their lives here. But I guess we're not allowed to talk about it. Matt Rule does, though. Here he is yesterday.
Oh no! We had a couple where we were hitting guys out by the sidelines and out of bounds. I thought could have been called against us. So it's a unique game to talk about the officiating. I have a lot of respect for officials. And you guys asked me after the game, and I needed a minute to, but I do feel like I have to say something in defense of our team too. I can't imagine what it's like to be out there and have to call a play. And so I don't usually say very much about the pass interference on Malachi. That's pass interference, right? I think everyone knows it after the game, the face mask on Heinrich, but I'm not out there doing what they do. And if we don't have officials, we can't have sports. And so I don't want to complain about those things, but it's we're sitting here at 5-4. This is my 4th head coaching job. I'm in year 11 as a head coach. I've never had a touchdown wrong on replay. And we've had it, we've lost 2 games by 3 points. We've had it wrong twice this year. It was wrong at Minnesota and it was wrong here. And that doesn't mean we lost the game. We're not excuse makers, right? We have to do our best to keep it away from that. But the type of team we are right now, we can't have 7 points spotted. And again, I'm not complaining about officiating, but replay's difficult for me to understand. And so, I know that the people in the Big Ten are working hard at it. I have a lot of respect for them. I'll stay silent on it after that. But I really would have liked, to have had one more shot from wherever we were at the end of the game, the 45-yard line, to hit an in-cut, take a knee, and kick that field goal. And I feel bad for our players So we're sitting at 5-4. We own 5-4. But we had one game where the team scouted us. We've had 2 games where replay was wrong. That's tough to swallow. But you know what? That's where we are. We are where we are. And the issues about giving up sacks and turning the ball over, those are the main issues that we're going to work on controlling. But you guys did ask me about that, and I did want to answer that.
What was that? We had what?
I wish the camera would have been on my face when he said that live during the show yesterday. I went, wait. And then like nobody tweeted the quote out for a while, and
right.
I'm like,
We-
what?
we-
No,
a lot of
I
people
know
were-
I heard that. I know I heard that.
Matt Rule, I think he makes it a bit now in his press conferences. He likes to sneak some stuff in there when people got their heads down and they're tweeting stuff and stuff like this. He's like, I'm gonna throw one in here and see if they catch it.
I'm gonna check if you're listening.
Unfortunately, we got the slews everywhere. We're listening on radio. We're listening on the message boards all over the place. People are going to catch whatever you have to say. And Matt Rule, by the way, has become more acutely aware of that as the season has gone along.
We discussed that yesterday, that he is very aware of like, okay, what's a pull quote?
Yeah.
What's going to go viral? What's in a 30-second little bite?
Well, here's a good example of it. So God bless Mitch.
Mhm.
I have the question in here. It's very funny. It's very
it's hilarious.
Before we get into the content of the answer, it's very funny.
Mhm.
Here is the follow-up question,
Which came like half an hour after Matt Rule said this. I think that's important too.
Hey, by the way, you said something. Here's Mitch and the answer from Matt Rule.
To clarify, when you said earlier, when you were talking about the replays, and you said you also lost one game to a team that scouted us, just to make sure, I know what you're referencing.
Come on, I'm just saying, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, I feel for our players, right? Like, Like, at the end of the day, like they're out there battling, trying to get the bowl eligibility, right? We're sitting there with a 5-4 record. You know, you have a touchdown taken away from us at Minnesota. You have a touchdown added to them at Northwest. I mean, at this game. And let me just say this, I called Harlan Burnett on Saturday night. I called him, okay? And I texted back and forth with him on Sunday morning. I have the utmost. I don't want to do anything to diminish Minnesota or him. I'm just saying, for our guys, I got to sit up in the front of the room, and they say they're watching ESPN and they're watching people talk. They're watching Ryan Walters speak some facts as they're getting ready. They're like, Coach, what do you think, Coach? And so, you know, my number one job is always to advocate for these guys and push these guys to be great. I do want to say that, like, this is kind of that part of it's kind of, I don't know if the right word is kind of crappy, right? It's also good for our guys to learn, like, hey, you know what? No one cares. No one feels sorry for us. Like, those plays happened in this game last week, and you know what? They didn't change the score. And you know what? The other thing happened, and it is what it is, right? Like, we just got to control what we can control.
Yeah.
Come on, Mitch. Come on.
He's he had his arms spread out. It's like, yeah,
Come on, Mitch.
come on. What are we doing?
I'm not saying the school that starts with an M. Come on. Come on, Mitch.
He's I mean, I think in his previous jobs he could sort of live in his own bubble a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I mean, and with all the we've talked about the aggregator accounts before, like, it's going viral. Like, it's already over. I thought the most definitive thing he said in that was, I'm listening over here to Ryan Walters speak some facts.
Facts.
We saw what Ryan Walters said last week, right? He was pretty.
He did. You also saw what he said 2 weeks ago about how he hates Nebraska.
He was not afraid to say the things that he wanted to say about Michigan and what. So the tide is turning in that category, but it's a delicate, and we've seen coaches sort of get lost in this before. I would really love to defend my team, but I also I have all these people I need to appease, including the Big Ten Conference and including everybody else in the country that listens to these and our fan base, right? How do I walk this line of trying to kind of make I don't know if he's trying to make everybody happy. That's a bad way to say it, because I don't think he really cares about making everybody happy, but he definitely doesn't want to get taken out of context, right? I want to maintain my relationship with the Big Ten. I want to maintain my relationship with our team. I want to defend them, and I also want to maintain our relationship with the fan base, who really, really hates it when we make excuses, because there was a previous coach who just coached here. This is subtext. There's a previous coach who coaches here before me, and he said every week how well they practiced, and they always sucked on Saturday, and they picked them apart for it. Right? He said that they wanted to play in Turkey or whatever, Kazakhstan, and what is it? What did he say? Where did he say they wanted to play?
Yeah, I don't remember, but you're close.
Was it Kazakhstan?
I think so.
Okay, whatever it was, Krakosia, something like that. That was the fake country from the terminal, by the way. I don't know if you caught that one. The Hanks reference. But whatever. Like, he knows.
And we've now talked about this Matt Rule quote. We did it twice separately on yesterday's show and now a third time today. And there's always somebody that says, oh, you guys think you would have beat Michigan if they wouldn't have been Scott? No, that's not what it's about.
No, not at all. It's about defending. He wants to defend his team.
It's about fairness. You go out there and you beat Nebraska 38-7 on your own merits.
Yeah, but like from Matt Rule's perspective, it's just about saying it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So your team can say, all right,
Coach has got my back.
Coach has got my back. He's not going to let Uzbekistan. Thank you, Al. Jeez. Uzbekistan. Weirdest country of all time. Uzbekistan.
Ooh, poll question?
Feels
a little iffy.
Yeah.
During these difficult times.
I don't know what's going on in Uzbekistan. Not playing football, probably. Many people, by the way, wrote in Uzbekistan. Thank you. Thank you very much. But he's got to walk all these different lines now. He's very aware of when he says stuff. He's like a spokesperson for, I mean, he's like the old time speech giver now. If we die, we die.
Oh yeah.
The warrior doesn't need a weapon. A warrior is the weapon. He's got all these things.
Just keeps saying stuff.
So then we went further down the rabbit hole because he clearly wanted to talk about this Michigan thing a little bit. We went further down the rabbit hole on Michigan. And I thought Sam came in with a pretty good question. It was like, hey, so don't you know what every you have a huge staff. Don't you know what they're doing? Could it at all be, I don't think he said this.
You couldn't possibly keep track of all of them.
Right. Could it at all be possible that you don't know that you could have a rogue staffer doing these things? Here is Matt Rule yesterday.
There's not an analyst on our staff that wouldn't be at a football analyst that wouldn't be at a away or home game with us. At a home game, there's not one person that doesn't have duties assigned. At an away game, there are some people that we would leave behind. But there's not a coaching analyst on our staff that doesn't travel with us and have a job. Yeah, I'm not trying very hard here. I just think, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm only speaking for our team. I don't ever want to cast shade on other people and other teams. Like I've been that guy that, the whole world's kind of taking shots at you and you're, so I'm not saying that. What I am saying is I just want the 60 minutes of the game fair. That's all I want. The 60 minutes of the game fair. And, if we have a game and it's a big game and we have recruits from all over the country come in and the game gets ugly quickly and gets ugly right away, and those kids all kind of look at me like, well, I mean, even if you lost the football game, it's a little bit more entertaining if it's a little closer. So again, I just want everything to be fair. But at the same time, like when I called my son after the game, my son said to me, he said, tough calls, Dad. I said, yeah. He said, hey, control the controllables. That's my 18-year-old son. So we're going to control the controllables. And again, I do appreciate the Big Ten and the way they handle things, like, very communicative and if you send a play in, they get back to you and, they don't always agree with you, but you learn a lot about them. So they're doing everything right. So it is what it is.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life, Josh. You know what we ask for? We ask for a chance that's fair. You just wanted it to be fair.
Yeah, why can't it just be fair?
The fair boys.
The fair boys.
I've enjoyed the Matt Rule tippy toeing act for these last couple weeks.
Come on.
Like there's stuff that he's not going to go there because he knows that everything he says becomes a talking point in the state. And then it becomes a question that he gets asked going forward. Is like, okay, you mentioned that this person is coming along. Where are they at? And then he gets asked for like the next 6 weeks. So he's very careful about what gets mentioned in the press conferences and stuff like that. And what he will not say this year that I don't know why it needs to be said. It goes back to our conversation from earlier. I don't know why it needs to be said, but he won't say it out loud because it would do him no good to do so. Is that their offense stinks. Their offense is so bad. And they don't have any good players on offense. That's it. He's not going to say that to you, though. And so maybe that's the reason why people just can't accept that truth. about Nebraska and sort of where they're at right now, but I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. As Matt Rule said while he was trying to answer that question very carefully, I'm trying here. Come on. I'm trying here.
Come on. I'm trying.
I still do want to talk about the defense part of it a little bit as well.
Just love him begging with the scribes to like, hey, come on, let's not go there, guys. Come on.
But he it was such an odd spot for him because he wanted to talk about it. He wanted to talk about it, but he doesn't know what to say about it.
If you pulled him aside afterwards and said, hey, can I get like 3 minutes off the record? He'd tell you everything you want to know. Absolutely.
I think it's BS. This is the worst thing ever. Yeah, he would have absolutely said that, but no, not in front of everybody else. Here's a question for you, Josh.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you think our next guest will have any thoughts about sign stealing?
I'm sure you can ask him.
I'm sure he has takes. Because what good does it do him? I mean, or what bad does it do him?
Yeah.
Scott Strohmeier, the head coach of Iowa Western football, is our next guest. I wonder what goes on in the junior college ranks in terms of like seedy stuff.
I've heard of some iPads being in some coaches' booths during a game when they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
It still didn't help them beat Iowa Western.
Yeah. We could tee that up for them. Also, they have a big game this weekend. Number 1 versus number 2. Number 1, Iowa Western. Number 2, Hutch.
Actually, reverse.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah, flip that. They both want blood.
Yeah.
Right? And they're both undefeated as we go on throughout the junior college season. We talked to Scott Strohmeier. We do this, once every month or two. It'll be good to chat again and maybe when we go further into the postseason. Stroh joins next on 1620 The Zone. But first, a quick reminder that it's the $15K payday on 1620 The Zone. You could win the ultimate payday of $15,000. Get registered to win now on our website, 1620thezone.com.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Football season is here. You'll be going to games and you want to see all of the action on the football field. Kugler Vision can help you ditch the glasses or ditch the contacts for good. Visit them online at kuglervision.com.
Sure, you could go elsewhere for your health and wellness products, or better yet, why not just come to 42 Degrees? Those other places don't even come close to the wide variety and premium disposable e-juice, CBD, Delta, Kratom, glass pipes, vaporizers, and other great products. With the friendliest, most knowledgeable, and professional staff who will find the right products just for you. If you're looking for a one-stop shopping experience, look no further. 42 Degrees. By your mom's house.
Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The unauthorized Big Red Breakfast rolls on. Join me, Gary Sharp, along with Nick Hanley from Sharp and Hanley in the morning. Each home game Friday. This year, our new home is Hy-Vee. It's been a great run, and we continue it throughout the Metro at Hy-Vee's, including this upcoming Friday as we break down all the stories about each Husker game.
This week, join us at the 79th and Cass, Penny Park, Hy-Vee, featuring a breakfast buffet for just our show. One trip for $12 or all you can eat for $15 every home game. Friday with Sharp and Hanley at Hy-Vee on 1620 The Zone.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Welcome back for the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson. Josh Hodson plays a role for the Iowa Western Reavers on game day. A very important role. A role that has earned him rings in the past.
Twice as many as Aaron Rodgers, some would say.
Ring me, many are saying. That's what the Reavers are out to do again this year, whether or not Josh helps them. As Coach Strohmeier, Scott Strohmeier, joins us now on the 42 Degrees Source Hotline. Coach, what's up? How are you?
Not much. How you doing? I'm doing good.
Good. Do you have any takes on sign stealing?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should dive into that one or not.
Okay, well, that's fair. I would imagine that, with maybe some less attention on the junior college world than there is like the Power 5 college football world, that there's some stuff that people kind of just slide right under the radar from time to time that well about.
Well, I think now if you look at it though, just check Josh's where he buys these tickets. He's been traveling around a little bit more to some of these games, so I don't know if I don't know if get him in trouble, but
I was invited on that plane,
around.
Coach.
They gave him a seat and everything. He got his snack pack, and
I did have a snack pack.
He was so happy. But it's been another good year for the Reavers, Coach, as you guys are getting ready for the regular season finale this weekend. Number 1 versus number 2. Does it? I guess what's this season felt like? Like, does it almost feel like it's been sort of building right to this point, and you have this in knowing that there's probably still some more high caliber football left to come in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in the junior college world has been for probably the last 4 or 5 weeks been talking about November 11th. And we obviously had a lot of games in between there, and I addressed it last week with our players. I mean, it is what it is, and we all know. But you still got to play the next game, and so I mean, here we are. I mean, it's where a lot of people would predict it. You still got, like I said, we had to do a lot of work to get here, and now we get what the junior college world wanted: 1 versus 2, and on the road.
Has it been a difficulty to? I don't know about it. A difficulty, but like, have you had to sort of consciously work on keeping everyone focused over the last several weeks? And it's not like you've been, blowing everybody out. I mean, what's the level of competition been like over the last couple of weeks, and then sort of mentally preparing everyone for this one?
Well, the competition level, I mean, you look back a couple of weeks, I remember when we had Iowa Central, and I mean, that was for the region championship and the cup. And so that was kind of a motivation there. You could kind of distract it a little bit. And then, I mean, as a coach, you take it week in, week out. And like I said, the players, they know, but at the same time, I mean, I knew what they were looking at. And so you got to try to change their direction a little bit on, hey, we got to win this game in order to us to get to what we want to and what we think. We have to take care of business. But overall, it's been good. I mean, we've been battling some injuries, and some guys have really stepped up and played key roles in our victories. And yeah, we're not blowing people out, but at the end of the day, wins are wins. And yes, you wish you'd play a little bit better sometimes and not make as many mistakes, but at the same time, we found ways to win. I think that's the most important thing right now.
How much do you think Hutch wants to beat you?
I'm pretty sure that that one's been circled for a little while. After what happened in the title game last year, and I mean, there's lots of, like, we know a lot of players there. They know players, coaches. They know our coaches, obviously, and I'm excited. I think our kids are excited and to go there, and they got something to prove. And we started the year number 1, and after week 1, we dropped to number 2, and so there's a little bit of motivation there too to go and prove some people. But I think the thing that I'm trying to explain to them is we win, we're guaranteed a home spot.
Yep.
For the playoff, and let's bring somebody here in December, and hopefully there's a couple feet of snow and really cold.
Coach, I know your players aren't going to play like it on Saturday, and you're not going to coach like it on Saturday. But sitting at number 2 right now, do you think you're in the 14 playoff no matter what happens?
I would think so. I mean, you never know. I mean, you're putting it in people's hands. They got to make a decision. But I would think, I mean, sitting at number 1 or number 2 the entire year, undefeated, I would think that
Most
we're
wins in the country.
You know, most wins, yeah, exactly. And I would think so. But I've also seen some crazier things happen before too in the past.
So yeah, I mean that too. You have to sort of guard against, knowing that there's going to be more football almost for sure after this. You know, you're going to have a chance to win a title whether or not you win this weekend. That does that minimize the? It can't minimize the game. It's still number 1 versus number 2. It's the game that everybody's sort of been talking about, like you said, in the junior college circle. But like, also, you guys are both going to be playing for a national championship opportunity.
Yeah, and I don't think like I said, at the end of the day, there's still. I mean, it's you're trying to finish the season undefeated and put yourself in a guaranteed spot to host the game. And I don't think our kids take that approach of like they have no idea if we're in or not. I said, well, we win, we're in. You don't take care of business, and now you put it in someone else's hands,
right?
You know, and so I think we control our own. If we want to, you know, if we take care of business, then we get to stay at home.
We're getting into a very, very fun time of the year, I'm sure, for everybody, including yourself, coaches around the country, because the junior college offer list is piling up. You got guys who are obviously want to win a ring and they want to win a national championship, and you guys have given them that opportunity. But they are also there for a reason, and that's to get them to the next level. I know we've talked about this before, sort of the balance of these next 5-6 weeks. And getting them off to their next destination. But what's that sort of been like so far this year? And you got a bunch of guys with a bunch of offers on your team who are sort of waiting for their next step.
Yeah, it's always challenging, especially when you keep playing and, hopefully we're playing December 13th. But like I've talked to them, they really get through, I think, in my opinion, 3 opportunities. They had our bye week, but that was early. So, I mean, we had a couple guys go on some visits there. But, after this week's game, I'm going to give them the next 2 weeks where they can go Friday, Saturday, Sunday on visits. So they can get 2 official visits there. And then, playing in the December 13th, and they can go that 16th, 17th, and 18th. They can go on one more visit before mid-year signing is December 20th.
Yep.
So they really get 3, like they got to narrow it down to their top 3, and kind of start scheduling those visits. And it's, I don't know. I mean, it's always challenging because they're going on those visits. You're trying to prepare for a playoff game. But for the most part, I mean, our guys are focused, like they want to win. But they want to also go check out their schools that they're potentially going to go to. So, once you get back in the mode, I think it's like they're focused on what they're doing here.
Right.
Coach, can you just kind of educate our audience on the toughness of the quarterback that you have right now, Hunter Watson?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Might be one of the tougher guys that I've ever coached. Gosh, every single week, like he's taking some shots, and I literally go over to the sidelines. He's out, and I'll be like, "Hunter, are you good?" He's like, "I'm good. I'm going in." 1 week we thought he was you're running concussion tests and things like that, and he's begging the trainers like, "I'm good. I'm good. I'm not going to go out." He's throwing up on his hands right before the snap, and he's a fierce competitor. And he wants to play, and he'll do whatever he has to do to help the team win, and I think anytime you have, and the guys, our team sees that too, when you have the trigger man that's willing to do whatever, take whatever, I think that helps the entire team.
Yeah. And it's not like you guys have a bad offense, but I love the combination, and you're averaging, right around 30 points a game. But like the combination of having the tough quarterback who everybody loves and everybody wants to play for, with a pretty dang stifling defense. Like that's got to be the combo for a team that is kind of like the coach's dream, right? It feels like you have the right combo for this season.
We do, I mean, and our guys know. I mean, we've been dominant on defense and offensively. I mean, there's times where, we know we're so good on, like, it's hard for teams to drive like the field on us. And so does that change a little bit in how you approach offense? Maybe a little, but I mean, what people don't understand, our best receivers played in 2 games this entire year, so you lose a weapon like that and still finding a way to win, I think is important. We played without our starting tailback, really the last game and half of the game before that. And then, Jonathan Humple steps up and he goes for, 300 yards in 2 games, and even some of the receivers that have stepped up. But, I think we're going to get LJ back. We're hoping this week and to make a push and just like even in the was it the Butler game or whatever when he came in, I mean it was just different, when he's in there and the explosiveness that he brings.
What would you say is, flipping over to the defensive side of the ball, what would you say is the defense's, I don't know how to word this, like the thing they do best? Like obviously they stop the run very good, but like are they gym rats? Are they film rats? Are they guys who just Jackson Filer last year, who I don't know how he makes plays, he just makes plays. How is the defense so successful?
One, I think, I mean, it starts with, I think, the coaches over there. I mean, I think they prepare them extremely well. And the kids buy into what we're trying to do schematically. When you're deep at the D line and you can play multiple guys is key, and I'm telling you, we're playing DBs at linebacker, this week, so, I think the biggest thing is they all understand the game, and that's a tribute to the staff that spends the time with them in the film room and understanding the entire defense rather than just your position, and, we play a lot of guys, and we've had to play a lot of guys this year, and to make where we've been, really good is make a team go 75 on us, rather than, sometimes you see you give up this big play or that big play, but if you can play disciplined defense, at some point we're going to continue to hit your quarterback and they're going to make some throws, just like on Saturday, they had 3 turnovers and 2 of them we scored touchdowns on, or off of those turnovers. And I think, in a game like that, that's what you got to do.
Coach Scott Strohmeier, Iowa Western is 10-0. They are at number 1 Hutch on Saturday to finish off the regular season. Coach, always enjoy to talk. I anticipate doing it a couple more times, maybe before we get Josh fitted for another ring potentially.
My hand size has not changed, Coach.
All right. I got you. I appreciate you guys having me.
See you, Stro.
Thanks.
That is Scott Strohmeier, who is the head coach of the Iowa Western Reavers. I got to know more, Josh, about this Hunter Watson guy. I like the cut of his jib.
We were.
I like when the coach goes, "Oh."
Well, I think 5 of the first 6 games this year, he vomited right on the field, and coach said it, so I feel free to say it too. And one time he's in the shotgun formation, he pukes on his hands.
Hell yeah!
He catches the ball and runs. I don't know, 3 yards out of bounds, real quick play. I have embarrassed myself. Last week he takes a tough shot to the back. He's holding his back. He's wincing. He's grimacing. He walks off the field, and coach walks over there and he's like, "Yeah, you good to go?" And he goes, "No, I'm going in."
Okay, so let me know if I get this right. I'm thinking Friday Night Lights. The quarterback in that movie, Mike Winchell.
Oh yeah,
you going with me on that?
I definitely.
He's got some Mike Winchell in him.
Yeah, I equate him a lot to Brett Favre without the turnovers.
Wow, that's amazing.
Just like he's gonna make the throw. Like 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions this year. And, most of those interceptions are like end of the first half interceptions.
Yeah, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks in the year.
You're not going to knock him out of the game as hard as you try.
That's Mike Winchell.
Yeah.
I need Mike Winchell in there. Everybody's got he's from Texas. He's got the offers from some of those schools down there. Not like Power 5 schools. Texas Permian Basin trying to get in there. There you go, Permian Panthers.
Permian. I think you're right, Connor.
Mike Winchell playing quarterback for the Reavers. It's a dangerous combo. I'm telling you. There's and by the way, I mean, we can talk about Nebraska football. Like that's what they're trying to do. Like
they're trying to have as many people play on defense, rotate them in and out so that they're fresh.
Let me get a dominating defense with guys that are going off to the NFL or in Iowa Western's case, big colleges. Let's get as many dudes in there as we possibly can, and let's be dominant, be fresh at the end of games, and let's have a quarterback who you just cannot. He's unflappable.
Yeah.
Right. Bang.
Very, very similar goals there.
It is a very dangerous combination.
Top 10 in sacks. 5 of them attend Iowa Western.
That's good, Josh.
That's very good. Yes.
It's usually a good sign. I wish them good luck on Saturday.
It's a big one for sure. Now, last year, regular season finale, Hutch came to Council Bluffs, beat Iowa Western. Didn't mean a damn thing.
Got the ring at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Thanks to Coach Stroh for joining as he does. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
And we rolled him over on the side. He hit one of those ruts, turned 45 degrees sideways, hit the retaining wall, and eventually started going end over end. And so every time the top of the barrel, the exposed end, you'd see his arms flaying. And we stood there at the top of the hill. We were looking at each other going, do we go down and save him or do we run?
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday afternoon with the high today warm of 66 degrees in Omaha. Expect winds out of the southeast up to 20 miles an hour to become a bit calmer here tonight. Mostly to partly cloudy skies overnight, mild with a low of 49 and a chance for patchy fog by tomorrow morning. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
Do you hear what we hear? Omaha Steaks has tons of jobs and hours. Right now, we're hiring for a variety of seasonal positions in our warehouses. Make this holiday extra jolly with a great employee discount on gourmet foods you can use all year long. To view available job openings and to apply online, go to omahasteaks.com/jobs or text steaks to 22633 to apply today. 'Tis the season to make some holiday cash at Omaha Steaks.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Since 1972, family-owned and locally roasted Host Coffee Service has been roasting the finest coffee for businesses and restaurants. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's hot outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink icy cold, Nebraska-brewed beers, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
DJ's Dugout Sports Bar is proud to support Creighton Athletics, and DJ's is the official watch party sports bar of Creighton basketball. Nick Hanley here for my friends at DJ's. Watch Creighton basketball on DJ's huge TV walls at 7 metro locations. Plus, enjoy delicious food and a Blue Jay lemonade cocktail, of course. It's an Omaha tradition. Cheer for the Jays at DJ's. Voted Omaha's #1 sports bar, locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Make the right call. John Higgins, let it go. The home of the Rooferys.
When it's time
Time to replace or repair storm damage. Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more Da Vinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferys. Make the right call.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks. Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Creighton Sports Update.
Blue Jay basketball has finally returned. Creighton men's basketball opens the season with a 4-game homestand beginning tonight as Florida A&M comes to Omaha for an 8 p.m. tip-off. Creighton women's basketball kicks off their home regular season on Friday, November 10th, with an 11:30 a.m. tip-off versus South Dakota. Tickets for both games can be purchased at gocreighton.com/buy. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Email unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Josh, it is Tuesday.
Oh, is this bottom five?
And
time?
it is time for the bottom five.
Okay. Lost track of where we're at.
Yeah, I didn't say that we're doing the bottom five. But we still have reaction overreaction coming up. So you're going to do it afterwards. So yeah, get up. It's time. Josh's bottom five teams in the NFL. Josh gets to debut the NFL top. Well, I guess we talked about NFL with AB. We had Strohmeier, so we're going to move back reaction overreaction. That'll come up here in just a second. We got to talk about quarterbacks for a little bit. All right.
Okay.
Bottom five. Let's do it.
Bottom five. We do it every Tuesday. We got a new number one this week, by the way. Just spoiler alert.
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
They're so close to working their way out of this, but I just don't see it happening. For the 8th time this year, the Chicago Bears are in the bottom five.
Are they close to working their way out of this?
Well, they keep moving up.
Okay. Amongst the bad teams, though.
Yes.
Their company is still their company.
It is. Secret Agent Man threw 3 interceptions on Sunday. He has now thrown as many as Justin Fields had.
We should stop talking about him.
Yeah. It was a fun game when he had that good game, but this is who he is.
Yeah.
He fooled you for a week.
I mean, the Bears, if we're talking about, quarterback play and what makes good quarterback play, like he doesn't have all the great pieces around him, of course.
True.
But it's still the quarterback's job to be a good quarterback, which he's not.
2-7. I'm curious what happens when they play the Packers next time. Now, that's not till the last week of the season, but
we warned you about this.
Now we have Bears Panthers on Thursday Night Football this week. You know,
Fun.
what happens there? The Bears do play the Cardinals and the Falcons and the Packers to end the season.
Fun. I mean, we might have. I mean, when is that Bears Cardinals situation?
Christmas Eve. You're gonna huddle with your family and watch Bears Cardinals on Christmas Eve.
I wonder what the least amount of wins between two teams that got together between like after week 14 was.
Oh, that's a great.
I'm sure we have to contact the Elias Sports Bureau for that, but no. By the way, speaking of bottom 5, Kyler Murray will start on Sunday.
Yes, we're going to discuss that in a
Exciting.
little bit.
Exciting.
Spoiler alert. Got something for Kyler.
Number 4.
Number 4 is the New England Patriots. They just keep sinking further and further down like a stone. And the Bears were at number 5 and the Patriots were at number 4 this week. They were flipped last week. That's not because the Bears are playing so well. It's just because the Patriots just keep getting stinkier.
Are not good.
They're not good. They are far and away the worst team in the AFC right now. Most interceptions in the league has Mac Jones with 9.
They will end up beating teams based off the fact that they have this like wild coaching advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they have no good players, so that would be the problem for them.
They are the only team. Now, my standings that are in front of me are different with the stat that I read. I have them as the only team without a division win. There must be another caveat to that.
No, they beat the Bills.
Yeah. So what was I reading?
I'm not sure, Josh.
It's a great question.
Trust your eyes, though.
Yeah.
They do indeed have a divisional win.
I'm going to stop reading things. That's what I've learned from this segment
Everybody's
today.
so wrong about everything.
I do know that they are 2-7 for the first time since the year 2000.
They also beat
Belichick's first season.
They also beat the Jets.
That's 2 division wins.
Yeah.
That's why it says their division record is 2-2.
Yeah. No, they stink. They stink. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I would vouch for them to be higher.
Oh, really? You think we got a little controversy?
We'll see who's next. Did the
Patriot-
Jets? Did the Jets play their way off this?
I'm sorry. Yes, the Jets are not in the top 5. I misread the stat. The Patriots are now 0-5 in non-division games. The only team in the NFL without a win outside of their division.
There it is.
That is the stat that I read and butchered horribly.
3. Combination of 3 and 5. Number 3.
User error.
Connor, it's your Carolina Panthers.
Wow, really? How are they not number 1?
Well,
It's amazing.
It's
Great job.
It's a lot like the Bears.
I agree with this ranking. I took the Panthers in 4-quarter pick'em this weekend because it was kind of a bit. Last week, remember, I picked the Panthers to be my favorite team, and then I picked them in 4-quarter pick'em, and they won. And then I figured, let's do it again. Let's do it again. They play the Colts. What could go wrong? Well, you know. Would you like to hear Bryce Young's stat line?
I would, because I got a little caveat on that.
24 at 39, 173, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, also sacked 4 times for 36 yards.
He has the worst QBR in the league right now at 29.5.
His wide receiver 1, so, once again, quarterback play. Some of this you could blame on him, some of this you can't. His wide receiver 1 is old ass Adam Thielen. So cut him some slack. But yeah, it's not good. Not good over there. I'm just happy that they're not number 1. Thank you, Josh.
Oh, yeah. No, I think there are 2 teams that are, quite frankly, significantly worse than the Carolina Panthers, who have 1 win.
Here comes 2. Number 2.
Injuries do not matter on this list.
Yep.
You are
who you are.
You are the team that you put out on the field each and every week. And it may not be your fault that you're a bottom 5 team, but you are a bottom 5 team, the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, well, I felt like the natural, not to make light of it too much, but the natural ending to this season for them would be for Daniel Jones to tear his ACL, and that's what we got.
And then come out and play 2 plays and have it pop again, or like the highlights did not. They were going too fast. Highlights go too fast nowadays.
Not good.
I can't grasp what you're saying by the time the the thing you're showing me is over?
I still feel like this team will like hang in there. You know, obviously their offense is putrid. One of the worst that we've seen in years.
Yes. Fourth game this weekend where they did not score 10 points.
But, I mean, if they run into a team who kind of tries to play it slow and, defense it up, like they'll hang in. They'll hang in against the football Commanders and the Patriots.
I was going to say, do they play the Patriots? Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
The 26th of this month.
But here's
Take the under on that one.
They
kids.
basically play all divisional games. So they still haven't played the Eagles yet, and they don't play them until Christmas and then the final week.
Hey, kids, gather around. Let's watch the Eagles murder the Giants on national television.
There's
Christmas
a reason
Day.
why we backloaded the schedule this way, and it's because the Giants were supposed to be good.
Yeah, they were a playoff team last year.
They will not be this year.
We like Wan'Dale Robinson, though.
I say it every time. I do like Wan'Dale Robinson, though.
Like the cut of his jib. And finally, they have ascended or descended to where we thought they would be this whole time.
Make it so, number one.
My guys.
Number one.
They are the Arizona Cardinals. They have the worst winning percentage in the league. They are 1-8. The Panthers are only 1-7, if you're wondering.
Thank you.
The Cardinals have lost 6 straight. Who was their quarterback?
Well, it was Josh Dobbs.
No.
And now it's Clayton Tune.
Clayton Tune.
And
That's
now
right.
it's back to Kyler Murray.
Well, before we get to Kyler, Clayton Tune and the Arizona Cardinals gained 58 yards this weekend.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, the
Total.
Browns got that Hall of Fame defense.
Yeah, I saw a stat that
Goat.
said, hey, the Browns are a very good defensive unit, but they are feasting on never having to play a starting quarterback.
Yes, correct.
And Kyler Murray's back this weekend, you say. Is that's what we're hearing?
I did say that.
That's the rumor
He is
report?
indeed back.
Interesting, because the new Call of Duty comes out Friday.
There's got to be a stat that accompanies that, right?
You cannot write this.
He's what? 0 for like 5 or 6 Call of Duty release weekends.
Let's see.
Something
see.
like that. It's pretty rough. That guy loves video games. Imagine having a quarterback that loves video games so much. Why can't every quarterback be like Peyton Manning and just not have a life?
I like nothing else. I like football.
Yep.
That's all I like. There's a lot of words in this article.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, by the way, relevant to you, Josh, Vrabes, he said Will Levis is our starter, and Ryan Tannehill is, even though he's healthy, is not our starter.
Okay. He had kind of been cagily dodging that over the last several weeks. Like, when Ryan's healthy, we'll make a decision. Hey, Ryan's healthy. What's the decision? Yeah, it's Will Levis.
Star Wars Fiend tries to test me. We did guys naming dudes earlier. Connor, without looking, who's the Panthers coach?
Oh, that's easy.
That's Frank Reich, baby.
Yeah.
That's my guy, Frank Reich. It used to be my guy, Matt Rule, but now I hate him. Matt Rule stinks, right? This is what being a Panthers fan is.
Yes.
Matt Rule stinks. He ruined everything. Thank you, Josh. That's the bottom 5.
Thank you, Connor.
Good luck to Kyler Murray this weekend. A couple things on NFL reaction, overreaction as we return on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Get a full breakdown after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction. And this week only, hear Big Red Overreaction with Nick Hanley and yours truly, Josh Peterson, on News Talk 1290 Coil. Big Red Overreaction is presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by J. Stinnett Contracting, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, Big Red Overreaction, this week only on News Talk 1290 Coil.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Planning something fun for your office, family, or friends? Joe's Karting is for you. Take a break. Come to Joe's to race, relax, and recharge. Great for team building. Ditch the speaker and burn some rubber. Trust us, Joe says you'll leave motivated. Joe's Karting race packages range from providing simple stress relief races to the real deal race experience. Check us out at joeskarting.com. Remember, go to Joe's, your place to race.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Welcome back. We're the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. Blue Jay basketball tonight as they open their season at the Chai. You could also hear it here on 1620 The Zone. Pre-game shoot-around starts at 6. John takes over on the broadcast at 7:30 and tip-off is at 8 here on 1620 The Zone. Also 1019 The Keg.
People forget about the Keg.
If you're interested in that, little FM radio.
Ooh, interesting.
As
sports on an FM signal.
Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? So that is tonight, opening night. I'll be there bringing you the second ever edition of Jay's Live.
Yeah, don't spill on that shirt, Connor.
I know. A little concerned. Good thing is I'll probably go home because I forgot the game started at 8. Go straight downtown. All right, Josh. Little overreaction here. I got a couple of things that we normally do, but also I want to have a conversation about some quarterbacks here in just a second. So feed me some takes.
All right. These come from our riders. Congratulations on ending that strike. Welcome back. You've been back, but just, wanted to formally welcome the riders back.
Yes.
Seem to have taken the week off because there's a lot less takes this week.
Yep.
The Miami Dolphins just aren't capable of beating Super Bowl contenders.
Well, they certainly haven't done any of that.
Haven't beat a team with a winning record since week 3 of last season.
Yeah, there's no way. You can't pick one to win this. If you only had these two teams to win the Super Bowl, Josh, which one would you choose? And we'll get to the second one in a second. The Miami Dolphins or the Buffalo Bills?
I knew that's the two you were going to pick. I guess the Dolphins.
I guess the Bills. But I don't like either. I don't like you. No, they can't. I mean, they're not good enough. I mean, they are they're the AFC Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
How's that?
I like it.
The AFC Dallas Cowboys are the Miami Dolphins. No, I mean, they can't. They haven't done it. Obviously we're grading them on a curve against tough competition, but they win every game against everybody else. They bludgeon those teams usually, and they stink when it comes to playing the good teams.
They are 4-0 at home in that first half of the season where, oh my gosh, it's 70 where I live, but I've come to Miami to play a game of football and it's still 110 on the field.
Yep.
Type of season. I guess they still lead the division, but
they got crushed by the Bills. They got crushed by the Eagles. They got crushed by the Chiefs. That's your story. The rest of the teams that they beat are as follows, Josh.
Ooh, okay.
Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Giants, Panthers, Patriots.
Drex of the league. Yesterday,
How many of those teams were mentioned in your bottom 5? 2 against the Patriots.
Yep.
Broncos.
Panthers.
Broncos were included in 1 against the Panthers. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Yesterday on this show, I called the Bills frauds. The Dolphins are also frauds.
Yeah.
And this isn't, well, they've been really, you can, but a lot of these things that we're throwing at you right now, no, they're frauds. They are a fraudulent football team. They will never be anyone of significance.
I wish they weren't. I thought I would have a lot of fun if they did.
I love the way they play. I love the players they have. I love the coach they have. It's fool's gold.
Sooner or later, you're going to have to actually do something.
Yes.
That's the standard you're at right now. Next, writers.
The Dallas Cowboys proved something just by not getting bludgeoned by the Eagles.
Okay, Josh, I may have sent the writers this question.
Oh,
because I watched them I watched that Sunday Night Football game, and I thought to myself, this has every making of the Cowboys just getting pounded into the ground.
Yeah,
it really did.
Felt like a 40-7 kind of game.
And despite their best efforts at times, including like having the ball on the 11-yard line, and then somehow ending up having to throw like basically a Hail Mary from the 40 on the final play of the game.
When you could have...
They got a false start, and then they got bounced. They got sacked twice, right? And they were at like the 40.
Eagles gave them a bunch of penalty yards that drive. You could have gotten into field goal range had Dak Prescott not stepped out of bounds on the 2-point conversion.
Yep.
But I don't want to throw that game at Dak's feet. Like, Dak played excellent in that game except for that play.
It's not like I'm like sold on the Cowboys now.
Right.
But I think I think if you're the Cowboys, you could feel good about that result. Moral victories.
Didn't get embarrassed.
No, they didn't get embarrassed. They didn't get killed by the Eagles. Like we are used to them getting smashed in those games, right? So I think I don't know if they quote unquote proved something, but I think if you're a 49ers or if you're an Eagles Cowboys fan, you could be sort of happy with that result. It's fine. And guess what? The schedule lightens up a little bit now. It gets a little tougher at the end. But they're fine.
Cowboys could conceivably win every game they play until they face the Eagles again on December 10th.
Yep. Panthers, Commanders, Seahawks. Giants, Panthers, Commanders, Seahawks in the next 4.
Get on a little run there. Take number 3. The Buffalo Bills will miss the playoffs.
Josh, not enough people are talking about this. Not enough people are talking about enough about this. Like, they are currently not in the playoffs.
Right.
They have been the team that we as society have selected. Oh, they are the anointed ones. They had that game with Patrick Mahomes. Remember the game with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen?
I do.
A couple years ago in the playoffs, and how sad that was. And Stephon Diggs was crying on the field and all of that stuff. We have just anointed them. Because of that game, we have never thought to look at them a second time. That was 2 years ago. In the meantime, they've done nothing of significance. They've beaten basically no good teams, and they turn the ball over way too much. I don't even know if they're good. I don't even know if they're good. They've had no running game for the last 2 years. Their defense is all the way beat up right now, and it's all on Josh Allen, and he tends to turn the ball over. They'll win games against teams that are bad or fine, and they may be able to pick one off against, like, they still have Josh Allen, right?
Right.
There's a bad side of Josh Allen, and it's yikes. But the good side of Josh Allen could beat anybody.
They're 0-2 in divisional road games. They lost at the Jets.
Yep.
The opening
night.
Remember when Aaron Rodgers died and we all thought that, they're going to cruise, and they didn't cruise to victory. And then the New England Patriots.
Yeah. Who loses to the Patriots.
Those are bad losses. Yep. I understand. Divisional road game, like, it's the NFL. They're professionals too. But If you want to win the Super Bowl, you got to win the games you're supposed to win.
They also lost to the Jags, and that 24-18 of the Bengals is kind of deceiving.
They were not. It was not that close.
It was not that close.
I was very upset that I was not given a good game of football at the end of the night.
They might miss the playoffs.
I think this is an overreaction, and I'll tell you why. It's not because I think the Bills are going to go on this run. It's because I think the Steelers at 5-3 are.
Yeah. The problem is every team in that AFC North has to stay in there, and that's simply not going to happen. Browns, Steelers.
The teams around the Bills, I think, are going to fall a little bit. The Steelers are ahead of them. The Texans and Chargers are behind them.
But like for those of you who are still giving them the benefit of the doubt and putting them up with Kansas City and Baltimore and Cincinnati, no. Mm-mm.
Second tier team.
Wrong.
Maybe even towards the bottom of the second tier.
Wrong. You're wrong about that. Yep. Do not include them in that category. And finally, so let's spend a couple minutes on this. Yes. Josh, ask me this question.
CJ Stroud is an elite tier quarterback.
All right. So in order to do this tier thing, you have to say it out loud. Okay, what are the tiers? What does it look like? And so can we establish whether or not there are like sub tiers to this tier?
Mm-hmm.
Can we establish that there's the following people are people who you would want more, maybe even more so than CJ Stroud? Mahomes.
Yes.
Burrow.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Justin Herbert.
He deserves better than the current coach he has. Yes.
Tua.
Yeah, I think so.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, but I have no confidence.
Josh Allen.
Give me Josh Allen. Let me see more than half a season of CJ Stroud.
Okay.
I think we're right at the
now,
line. Right?
I don't know if that is like the real elite tier is probably like 3.
Yeah.
Like it's probably Mahomes, Burrow, and it might just be Mahomes and Burrow. I don't know, but like I'm spreading it. I'm trying to make it like a 3-tier system. So there's like really, really good, middle, bad. CJ Stroud is absolutely in the first group. I did the same thing you did last night when I was sort of going through these names. I think I would take CJ Stroud over like 3 or 4 of those top tier guys at this point. He might be a top 6 or 7 quarterback in the league right now. It is very early. I understand this. And then I looked at all the other teams in the NFL and I thought, what happened to our working class quarterback? What happened to what we have an eroding middle class, Josh?
Well, yes, we do. Thank you for noticing. They all blew their Achilles out. All of them.
Yeah. So Kirk Cousins is gone. I mean, Aaron Rodgers would have been in that top group, probably, right? Based on
a career, yes. Based on a career.
He's got the experience, right? Kenny Pickett was probably supposed to make a jump to that group this year, did not.
CJ Stroud has more career touchdown passes than Kenny Pickett.
Amazing. Dak Prescott sat in this tier for a very, very long time. And at this point, we just have to move him one way or the other. And the way that we're moving him is down.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Dak.
Wherever Kirk Cousins is, that's where Dak Prescott is.
Russell Wilson had spent a lot of time in the top one. He got moved to the middle one. It's probably closer to the bottom one than he is the middle one at this point. Jimmy Garoppolo would have been the bottom one, but he's gone anyway.
Yeah.
Sam Howell's in the bottom one, even though I like him. He's like the king of the idiots to me. Daniel Jones would have been in the bottom one, but he's gone. Jared Goff is a middle tier quarterback.
Right.
Jordan Love's in the bottom one. Justin Fields in the bottom one. Derek Carr's probably in the middle one. Desmond Ridder got benched for Taylor Heineke. Baker Mayfield's obviously in the bottom one. Bryce Young's definitely in the bottom one.
Where's Will Levis, Connor?
Will Levis, I don't even know what to do with him. Probably the bottom one.
Dang.
Josh Dobbs might be a middle guy. Geno Smith is probably a middle guy.
Josh Dobbs has played on like 7 teams in the last 12 NFL weeks.
And what do we do with Brock Purdy?
I mean,
is he a middle guy or is he a top guy or is he a bottom guy?
Put Brock Purdy on the Texans. What happens?
CJ Stroud's better. I mean, obviously that, yes. But I sort of did that exercise last night and I thought, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
What happened here? Everybody got hurt.
Everyone's either an elite quarterback or a terrible quarterback that you do not want to enter a marriage in with.
So, and we were talking about this with AB earlier. I don't blame the teams for acting that. You don't want to be in purgatory, right? You don't want to be in a spot where you have a good team and Jared Goff is your quarterback. Sorry, Lions, but you know what I'm talking about. If you're a Lions fan, there's no way you're not scared of going up against the Eagles in the playoffs, right? But you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Not because they're better than you, because they have a better quarterback than you. They're probably also better than you. But you know what I mean? Like the playoff games you lose because of your quarterback. You need that guy. And you need to score points at the end of a game. So you're terrified of that. So there's this middle tier that is sort of gone. And like I said, I don't blame NFL teams for approaching it this way. If you're in the middle, then you're nowhere. If you're at the bottom, you're just preparing for the draft. That's pretty much it, right? Because if you have a franchise quarterback, if you're in the top group, then you're not departing from him. You're not leaving that guy, right? So, but this is the ideal that the entire league is taking on right now. And there are just not enough quarterbacks that are elite to fill out, even half the teams in the league. And so 60% of the NFL teams at this very moment are sitting there thinking to themselves, what's next? We have to get out of either purgatory or get out of the hellscape that we're in right now. That's what they're thinking. And there's only probably 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys who are like, you know what? Okay, we can live with this and maybe we can win a Super Bowl. But that's what the NFL has become. And there's not enough quarterbacks to fill all the spots right now. And so it's led to this world that, and it'll probably be this way for a couple of years unless we get a nice little influx where the teams that you see right now ain't not going anywhere. They're just not going anywhere.
I don't want to disrespect the Giants. We didn't put Tommy DeVito on this list.
Yeah, he's in the bottom one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check. That Ripon that's quarterback in the Rams.
Yeah, the Rip Man. He's in the bottom one too, Josh.
Okay.
Eroded, Josh. Eroded.
It's gone.
The middle tier is gone. If I could ask the question of, would you rather take a guy who's played 8 games over 75% of the league's quarterbacks right now? And sometimes that's the truth. Sometimes you know, right? You look at him, you're like, yeah, that's the guy. And with CJ Stroud, he has that. But like when you're taking him over about 75% of the league, then I don't know. You got problems.
I'd like to shoehorn a take in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Really
Squeeze one in
really
there.
More of a question. It's about NFL quarterbacks, so it's adjacent to what we're talking about. Why does Deshaun Watson only consider himself healthy when the Browns are playing bad teams? He played against the Cardinals, right? And the Colts. Now he got injured in the middle of that Colts game, there is some injury to what he's doing, but seems to only want to play the bad teams. Almost like there's some cowardice there from a man that
really
isn't good.
Well, he's not good, and he's definitely a coward. We know that. From the text line on the 402.
Hi, 402.
Oh my God, please tell Happer to stop asking if they are top or bottom guys.
Why is that funny? What is this? Is this real?
What?
Bleacher Report's NFL insider, Jordan Schultz. Carson Wentz is signing with the Rams.
Thank you. Thank you for that news, Josh. Perfect time for that to happen.
That is the perfect
It's the perfect time for that to happen.
Carson Wentz is the middle.
What's that?
He's Kirk Cousins.
Carson Wentz is coming back to the NFL to play football? Who has he been backing up this year, by the way?
I believe he's been backing up his wife at home this year.
Nice, Josh.
Because I believe he was
he a top or a bottom guy?
I don't know. He strikes me as a guy that has a Phillip Rivers level of children, though. And also, TC sent us an email.
Hey, TC.
On Sunday, December 22nd, 1991, The 3-13 Buccaneers played the 1-15 Indianapolis Colts. He says this is maybe your answer.
So we have a chance to have two teams that are worse than that.
Yeah. Not
Panthers Cardinals. Is that the game? Or Bears Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Bears Cardinals. Adam Schefter follows up on the Carson Wentz news. A full circle quarterback moment. Rams drafted Jared Goff number 1 overall in 2016. And Carson Wentz went number 2 to the Eagles. Goff went to the Lions to replace Stafford, who replaced Goff in LA. And now Wentz will back up Stafford in LA. Yeah, but that would assume that Matthew Stafford can like feel his arms and legs. Is he okay?
Oh, there's no way.
He's never healthy.
There's no way.
All right. Thank you for indulging me in that conversation. And we got problems right now. And just think about it. Quarterbacks in the NFL.
Fathers, teach your sons to play quarterback.
It wasn't that long ago. We were talking about how many great young quarterbacks there are. Well, now the old guys left, retired or got hurt. And the young guys are there, but there's not enough of them. Need some more. Thank you, CJ Stroud, for coming along. I appreciate you. And once again, one of my best draft takes ever. He was my favorite quarterback this year.
I loved the pick.
We're up next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
J-Tech Construction reminds you that this time of year, your home's energy efficiency is under tension. Don't let your windows cost you by raising your energy bills this winter. J-Tech Construction will come out and provide you with a free estimate on upgrading your windows and keeping your energy costs down. They have custom-made, energy-efficient windows that keep the outside out with the professional installation you would expect. Contact the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. J-Tech Construction, your exteriorexperts.com.
The most wonderful time of the year is upon us again. No, not Christmas. Oyster Fest at Shuck's Fish House. This Wednesday and Thursday, get $8 a dozen East Point oysters plus many other specials. All 3 locations. Find out more at shucksfishhouse.com.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees. The Source. By your mom's house.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Attention sales professionals. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished business-to-business salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to a new level. Is this you? Our account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on-site, audio, video, it's all part of what you can sell. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Sunday morning is all about church, eggs, and the Sunday paper. But right next to church, it's made for hot takes and reactions. Severe Reactions. Michael Severe is back on 1620 The Zone with Severe Reaction. Sundays 8 to 10, and he doesn't hold back on what went right and what went wrong on Saturday. He'll also take a call from the most important voice of all, yours. Severe Reaction, Sunday mornings 8 to 10, powered by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Nebraska Medicine. Home is where the health is on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here with Dr. Lance Kugler of Kugler Vision. You know, it's been 5.5 years since I had my procedure done at Kugler Vision. I remember going in for the eye analysis and finding out, hey, there's something other than LASIK. That seems to be such a misnomer with so many people, but that's not always the case because there are actually 7 forms of modern vision correction.
Sure, yeah, and obviously LASIK is a huge part of what we do, but as technology improves over the years, over the decades, we continue to add different technologies that become better options for people depending on what they need.
Yeah, and one of the things that I found absolutely incredible was the eye analysis process. You want to know as much about anyone's eyes as you can, because that's how you figure out which of those procedures are going to qualify for.
Yeah, our eye analysis process is the most thorough evaluation of your eye that you can possibly have. We all have the same goal. We want you to see as well as you possibly can.
Schedule an eye analysis today. You can visit their website, KuglerVision.com.
There's nothing like football season here in Nebraska. Hi, this is Sunny.
And I'm Darwin with DJ's Dugout.
During football season, a portion of our sales at DJ's will be donated to the new Nebraska Vietnam Veterans Memorial Project being built in Papillion.
As a Vietnam veteran, I'm proud for DJ's to support the new Nebraska Vietnam Veterans Memorial.
To learn more about this meaningful project, visit nvvmf.org. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran owned.
Nebraska basketball took care of business last night against Lindenwood.
Oh, yeah, they sure did.
Are we finally past the point where Nebraska should be scared about losing to the Incarnate Words and the Gardner Webbs and the Samfords of the world?
I don't know, but there was a lot of excitement over the Lindenwood victory, and I have questions as to why.
What do you mean, Josh? What do you mean?
It's Lindenwood.
So what? They won a basketball game. You win, you celebrate. That's what you do. We
guess
win,
you're
we
right.
dance.
I don't want to tell people how to fan. I don't like that, but like
What do you mean there was
lot of
excitement?
like, oh, let's go. Yeah.
I mean, you would forgive Nebraska fans for being a little bit, I don't know, hesitant at the beginning of seasons when they're playing a school like Lindenwood. It just sounds like a school that they would lose to.
I guess that's true.
So when they go off and they beat them by 30 like they did last night.
Didn't have Casey, so I imagine that there was a bit of trepidation beforehand. Okay.
No, I think Nebraska's going to be good, Josh. I mean, what's good? I don't know.
I'm not doing the stance. I'm tired of the stance.
What do you mean, Josh?
I'm not doing that.
It's time to buy in.
I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be a tournament team. And then
I
they're
don't know.
500.
I didn't say that they were going to be a tournament team. I said they're going to be good.
And then they're 500, and we're like, oh, yeah, well, I guess we did ask all offseason who's going to score all the points.
They're going to start 4-0. They're not going to lose to Florida A&M, Ryder, Stony Brook. Right?
I
right?
Would, yes, I would
My
agree.
boy, even though my boys from Stony Brook will be in town,
A homecoming of sorts.
I don't think they're going to lose to them. And then they play Oregon State in the Pentagon, and their KenPom sucks. 173, Josh. That's horrible.
It is horrible.
Duquesne, Cal State Fullerton, and then Creighton. Josh, we might be dealing with 2 undefeated teams by the time Sunday, December 3rd rolls around.
This Nebraska team beat an Elite Eight team last year. Act like it.
Oh, okay. That's what you're doing. Okay. You're saying grow up?
Grow up. Yeah. Grow up, Nebraska basketball fans.
Yeah, there's definitely an underdog mentality, I guess, with the program.
Do you think Kansas celebrated their big win last night? No.
You think Michigan State celebrated their big win last night?
Oh.
Oops.
That was a good burn, actually.
You can't stop the James Madison takeover. They're taking over the world, man. I'll tell you what, too, and Kugler and Bardo were talking about this during the game. That was not a fluke. And Michigan State, now, before we get off and crazy about Michigan State, like they do this every year.
Every year.
They're
Tom
so
Izzo, yep.
they're so bad at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And then it's like we get in March and they're like, hey, wait a minute. They finished like 3rd in the Big Ten and they're like a 7 seed. Are they really good? The answer is yes.
They played Texas, UCLA, Duke, and all these teams in the non-con. Why did they do that? Oh, so they could be good in March.
So they do it again. Kansas does the same thing every year. But it was not, I mean, James Madison had some players.
Yeah.
James Madison had some dudes. And it was like Michigan State was a team that was on their heels. Tyson Walker was just throwing his body into stuff at the end of the game, just trying to score anything. But, I think Robin tweeted out last night, just waiting because this is definitely another year. I could see it where Nebraska wins 20 games and everybody deems the Big Ten to be bad, and the RPI of the conference is way down. And Nebraska, wins like 14 games in the league. They finish 4th place, and they missed the tournament because the Big Ten sucks. Be pretty funny. In a sick kind of way, obviously. But Nebraska took care of business last night, which was nice. And they got people that you like, They got Alec.
It's a likable team.
They got Alec and they got Casey.
Like, even if they don't perform well, like, there's like personalities and people like, oh, I root for that guy. I root for that guy.
Get out your Tomanagua.
Oh yeah,
drink it good.
Tomanagua season.
James writes in.
Hi, James.
They're going to be good. You may have been referring to Husker basketball. Well, we've been saying the same thing about Husker football for the last 20 years. Hey, they were good a couple times in there. 20 years?
They had good Saturdays.
They were good in 2014 and 13 and 12 and 11 and 10.
Remember that
9?
That Friday against Illinois? They were good that day.
They were good. They're not very good this year, but they might still get to a bowl game. They were kind of good in 2016.
Yeah.
They were good in they were mildly good in 05.
That's less than 20.
Yeah, exactly. And they're starting to get fewer and far between. Creighton, on the other hand, opens up their season against the aforementioned Florida A&M Rattlers, coming on sporting a Ken Palm rating of 343, Josh.
Okay.
How many college basketball teams are there this year?
355.
362. So close.
It's real close.
That number seems to get bigger and bigger every year.
It does.
So 343 is actually not good.
Oh, okay.
So Creighton will play them tonight at 8 o'clock. Remember, 8 o'clock. And then they play Iowa a week from tonight.
At 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock. Yeah. And then, Oklahoma State. Did you see what Oklahoma State did last night? They're on Creighton's schedule. They lost to Abilene Christian at home.
Oh, my.
Yes, they did. And
still hungover from Bedlam, I see.
So just set your calendars, set your alarms. December 3rd in Lincoln. Undefeated top 5 Creighton. Undefeated top 50 Nebraska. Creighton's like a 7-point favorite. And there will be blood. And Ryan Kalkbrenner will play.
He will play.
He did play last year, but it was just his absent body playing in the game. That's not an excuse. I'm just saying it just happened. That's what I saw. All right. We'll come back. Poll questions today. What to watch on the other side. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
Hyannis? Thank God you had Terry Keneally, or we would not like you in Omaha. Just telling you.
I feel like Nebraska City's one of us.
I mean, Hemingford? You should have just gone to Wyoming. Why did you insist on staying in Nebraska? Same with you people in Whitney. Just go to Wyoming.
Go consolidate your schools.
Yeah. You know what, Crawford? You're not good enough for Wyoming. Just go to South Dakota.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday afternoon with a high today, warm of 66 degrees in Omaha. Expect winds out of the southeast up to 20 miles an hour to become a bit calmer here tonight. Mostly to partly cloudy skies overnight, mild with a low of 49 and a chance for patchy fog by tomorrow morning. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
Here's today's Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Husker football head coach Matt Rule said he's been impressed with how Heinrich Haarberg has handled the pressure of being the starting quarterback for Nebraska football.
There's not a lot of margin for error for us on offense right now. We don't play well. So every play is really kind of squarely on his shoulders. And as we continue to grow, you're hoping that you just hand the ball off every once in a while and we're just, playing at a level where it's not all on his shoulders. But to go out and be the quarterback on a team that's battling every week in close games, you have to want to do that. Everyone says they want to do that. You have to want to do that. And that's what I respect so much about Heinrich.
Rule had high praise for Maryland's starting quarterback, Talia Tagovailoa.
He's Patrick Mahomes, and he was like Kyler Murray back in college. He runs left, he runs right. I mean, you don't see many quarterbacks in college football can roll to their left and still make explosive plays. He can do everything that you've seen his brother do, he can do. And he does it with a lot of flair.
For The Zone, I'm Matt McMaster.
The Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Attention all Nebraska Huskers football fans. Get ready for an electrifying season of college football with Tickets for Less. Experience the thrill of the game and witness the power of a new era under our exciting new head coach. And here's the best part. Use promo code THEZONE to score incredible savings on your Husker tickets from Tickets for Less. Whether you're cheering from the stands at Memorial or plan to catch a game on the road, Tickets for Less has the seats you need. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of the Huskers journey. Visit ticketsforless.com and use promo code THEZONE today.
Nick Handley here for my friends at DJ's Dugout Sports Bar. Wow, this is our favorite time of the year at DJ's. There's Nebraska in college football, pro football, Creighton and Nebraska basketball, Nebraska and Creighton volleyball, UNO hockey and basketball, and more. Oh, my. Good thing DJ's Dugout is here to gather with family and friends to watch all the action. 7 metro locations, locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's hot outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink icy cold, Nebraska-brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
All right, poll questions at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Just 2 today.
3.
Just 3 today. Where's the 3rd? Did it just go up?
I don't know how to tell you. They're all at Happer Show.
Oh, they're there. Yeah. Okay. Do you know the coach of the Utah Jazz?
Don't lie to us.
You don't know the answer to this question. 94% are saying no at this moment.
A lot of truth tellers in the audience. I appreciate
So
that.
we got 5 or 6% of you that are Jazz fans, apparently.
Oh, no. I'll bet you 5.7% of the audience thinks it's Quinn Snyder still.
Yeah, I know that guy, Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, of course.
Wrong.
What a stupid question, Connor.
Will Rick Pitino wear a suit tonight?
Oh, yeah. Suited and booted.
Who did the...
They play, spoiler alert here for later. They play your boys at Stony Brook, 6 o'clock.
They play Stony Brook?
Yeah.
Stony Brook's coming to Lincoln. Bring that trophy back to Lincoln. Okay. Yeah. You got to go. It's New York versus New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's Queens versus Long Island.
It's national television.
You got to go with the suit. Yeah. 3-piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 74% say yes. Rick Pitino will wear a suit tonight. And finally, do you like the Big Mac?
Most voted on poll question of the day.
Perfect.
I'm going to go no.
If you're making me pick, it's no.
Mm-hmm.
54% say yes. A very divisive topic.
Ooh. But we love a Big Mac sack. I love getting the Big Mac sack.
I love the opportunity to have a Big Mac.
Yes.
That's for sure. Those are the poll questions. Josh, what are we watching?
We're going to watch some college basketball tonight. Florida A&M against number 8 Creighton. A 6 o'clock pregame right here on the
6
Zone.
o'clock shoot around.
Yes.
7:30 John Bishop pregame. 8 o'clock tip.
8 o'clock tip on FS1 if you want the moving pictures to go along with John Bishop's
with
excellent call.
Kevin Kugler and Nick Baugh.
Wow, they flew those guys in for that?
Yeah.
Big talent.
That's amazing.
Florida Gulf Coast at Indiana, 5:30 on BTN. They will honor a villain at Assembly Hall tonight.
All right, Josh.
What?
Your crusade against Bob Knight. He has passed.
He has passed.
He has passed.
He has expired. Stony Brook at St. John's, 6 o'clock on FS1. And then you get Auburn against number 20 Baylor, 8 o'clock on ESPN from the Pentagon.
I was going to say, is it from an aircraft carrier?
No.
Sad.
College football, you get the top 25 reveal show for the CFP tonight, 6 o'clock on ESPN. Ball State, Northern Illinois, 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Central Michigan against Western Michigan, 6 o'clock on ESPNU. Ohio takes on Buffalo at 6:30 on ESPN2. The NHL has a doubleheader on TNT. Rangers host the Red Wings at 6:30, followed by the New Jersey Devils.
Watch out for the Devil now.
And the Colorado Avalanche at 9 o'clock. 8 o'clock on TBS tonight. Season 2 premiere of Wipeout. We can watch people fall down and embarrass themselves.
A classic.
Yes. John Cena and Nicole Byer return as hosts. And finally, 9 o'clock, ABC, Dolly Parton, From Rhinestones to Rock and Roll. The hour-long special will feature an in-depth interview with the country icon. Dolly Parton will tell Robin Roberts about her life, her style, and her ever-changing career. The pair will also discuss the Jolene singer's foray into rock music, Rock Star.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor. Actors, if you'd like to wrap up your strike and put shows on television so we don't have to do, hey, Dolly Parton, so you got a guitar now.
We don't need to watch TV. We don't have TV during the winter is stupid. We got football. We got basketball every single night. That is the show. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Crossovers next.
Big names, big games. We've got